Where are we going?
Well, funny you should ask. Let's have the summary from the last session.
Can you
At
sing it?
last, we left off. Our heroes had reclaimed the heart of the song, but upon doing so, the tower around them began to buckle inwards. Meanwhile, Delgrim, shocked by what Miera had summoned forth, confronted her, pushing her to the ground before backing off, realizing his aggressive actions. Overhead, shards of iron began to fall as the tower twisted, the metal screaming and screeching. Fearing for their lives, the party raced for the exit, dodging through the metal rain and plunging through the doorway into the cold, murky waters that lay through the mirror that had formed the only way out from this level. Frantically swimming towards what they hoped was the way out, with some needing guidance from others, they quickly found themselves staring down through the strange iris-type exit at the tall pillar that stood in the center of the ground floor. The tower's metal walls continued to contort as they buckled and twisted inwards, as if folding in on itself. With little time to spare, members of the party began to clamber down, with Miera attempting to slide down the pillar. Alas, her greed got the better of her as she reached for one of the many gems that were still studded along the side of the pillar, and in doing so, brought them to life. Below, the entrance to the tower began to shrink as time rapidly began to run out for our heroes to escape. Delgrim, in a brave but foolhardy attempt to deal with the strange gems that were now floating in the room and potentially posing yet another threat, leapt from the top, his bag of holding wide open, and managed to catch two of them before smashing hard into the iron floor. Wasting no more time, our heroes scrambled through the door, and just in time, as the tower continued to fold in upon itself until in a flash, it was gone. Breathing heavily, tired, wet, wounded and sore, the party took the opportunity to catch their breath before realizing that trying to trek on into the forest in their current state would be folly. Setting up camp, the party took the opportunity to rest and reflect on what had occurred. More words were exchanged between Miera and Delgrim as the tension continued to build between the pair, and Tiernan took the time to search the area where the tower once stood, now freshly toiled earth, and discovered buried in the dirt a strange, puzzle-looking cube, covered in runes and glyphs, that appeared slightly damaged. He pocketed it for future investigation. As the party rested and night came to claim the forest, it was Bee and Delgrim who noticed something approaching the small island from across the waters. Making their way down to the banks of the lake, they saw flying over the water a strange giant toad held aloft on huge gossamer wings, surrounded by small sprites and pixies. This creature, who would go on to introduce itself as Tordelius Croak, confronted the party about the tower and what had just occurred. The Fey Toad was also determined to know what had happened to the heart of the song. Words were spoken, lies spun, and called out as the rest of the party arrived to also take part in what was slowly turning into negotiations with Tordelius. Offers were thrown, threats made, until it was finally Miera who agreed to owe the Fae a favour if it guided them out of the forest safely. And so, with yet another deal in place, our heroes journeyed onwards in the company of the Fae. But not all was well. Grumpfel questioned whether the price for simply gaining passage to the north was really worth it, and the rest of the group was still unaware of the deal that Delgrim had made. B was extremely frustrated as well, calling out the party for making more ill-thought-out bargains with the Fae, And as the group finally found themselves before the gates of Wyldeport, late in the morning of a cool autumn day, one begins to wonder what will happen with our heroes, and what will become of all of their wheelings and dealings.
Well, whatever the answer to that question will be, Delgrim will be wearing his kick-ass fucking hat while it happens. Well, my friends, do we go immediately to Court of Stars?
Isn't there a dress code, Delgrim?
Tiernan, at this point in my life, I'm not overly concerned with code of dress.
Perhaps we just shouldn't irk the Queen further.
This is fair. I'll go get my fancy black mesh shirt.
Should we at least rent a room?
Is it possible maybe we should have a discussion about what the next steps are? So that we're not walking into anything blind, because I just feel like there's a lot of shit that no one is talking about, and maybe we should talk about it before so some of us can kind of understand what.
Oh, now we
happening.
want to talk and we want to discuss things before we rush into deals or situations or anything stupid.
You're right, B. That's a silly idea. Let's just rush on in then.
It's very simple. If you'd like to stay completely out of danger, I go in alone. I acquire a moon, I give it in your possession, you get travel to north. Simple. Tiernan, you get your mother back. Simple. But perhaps is unwise for you all to follow me in to close this deal. Perhaps I go in alone.
Yeah, groups often do things alone, don't they?
If you wish to join me, you are welcome.
It always feels as though every single deal or word that we have dealt with the Fae, they're all twisty. Honestly, I don't trust the Queen.
This is close of deal. Surely it not be as difficult. You're right. I have misspoken in ways that mean I have made stupid choices, yes. But I have acquired the thing I was required to acquire. Deal will be closed. End of story.
Grumpfel, do you have anything that would be a backup plan if the worst happens?
Other than a spell that will turn me into a boat? Not really. I think perhaps we should go to the court tomorrow, have a day and a night to rest and recover. I know I need to go to the local house of Kamateon because my mind is unsettled, and I need a few moments to contemplate a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be foolish for us to go straight to the court. I think we need time to recover. We have just been through a lot. We are one less than when we started out, and we have one more deal that has been made, albeit it was necessary. How necessary, who knows? But I think we need a pause. I think we need rest. I think we need thoughts with cool heads, and I know I need to go and commune. That is my thought.
Sounds like a good idea, Grumpfel. Do you?
And
agree
I
with
need
that,
some bloody coffee.
Do the rest of us agree with that? We won't go to the court until tomorrow?
I agree.
Very well.
As you make your way through the gates of Wyldeport, you are again reminded of the unique situation within this city. It's a stunning place. The architecture is impressive. The giant dome that houses the courts of the Fae is off in the distance. And the streets at this time of the day are filled with all sorts of characters. And you're once again reminded of the fact that the Fae reside here too, as a sprite goes whizzing past your face. And then you see upon a horse a strange-looking individual as they canter across your direct path. Mortals and Fae both reside in this city, and a strange and eclectic combination as you make your way through the streets. And you see those of the fair folk wearing their strange masks and some sort of caricature of the Fae that they reside with, dressed in great finery. You see some who are obviously making their way towards the courts, wearing the appropriate garb for the court that they're going to be visiting at that time. Is there a particular inn? I'm going to assume that you're probably just going to go to the outside inn, which is where you have stayed in the past.
I think so.
Yeah,
That
I think
makes
so.
sense, right?
Good idea.
So you make your way through the city, again cutting towards the giant dome of the courts to find yourself once again outside the very friendly establishment. And as you go in, it's not super busy at this time of day, but a number of the tables have got at least one or two patrons at them, and there's a gentle buzz throughout the entire establishment. You can see small groups of fair folk, obviously like pre-drinking before they go into the courts, and you can see behind the bar the hobgoblin barkeep Grazin, as well as the other hobgoblins who work there. Pippi, the younger woman who you'd had conversations with before, and it would be very easy for you to secure a room for the night, which would be it's 6 silver pieces each for a night, unless you're wanting to share a room or something of that nature.
No, thank you.
So, with this in mind, I'm conscious that Grumpfel is wanting to do something. What is the plan for the group for the rest of the day before you head to the courts the following day?
Tiernan wishes to go to the is it the Sending Guild? What's the name of the place that they send messages and so forth?
So you are familiar with the fact that over in the Rivenlands there are guilds of sending. However, upon making some inquiries here with Grazin, there's no such establishment. He actually would give you a bit of a weird look. It's like, we don't have any kind of like mail system or anything, at least not here in Wyldeport. You could probably pay someone to carry a letter to. You could probably find like a courier or something like that to carry a letter somewhere if that's what you're wanting to do. But there's no official mail system.
Yeah.
Oh, that's problematic.
I do have sending or message. I have something that could help. Just depends on how big the message is.
Oh, it's considerable. How?
Could you condense it into 25 words or less?
Okay, that may be difficult.
Grazin would advise you that depending on where you were trying to send something, he could probably find a courier of some type who could take the letter for you. It would not, again, depending on the distance, depending on where you're trying to send it to, it may or may not be very cheap. But what were your intentions? Where are you trying to sort of send something to?
Cathabal.
Sorry?
To send something to Cathabal.
Right, okay.
That's a problem.
Yeah, like he when you mentioned that, like his eyes would go wide. He'd be like, oh, I think I mean, the moving city, like, there's... We could try, but there'd be no guarantees, and it would absolutely depend on whereabouts it is this time of year, but it would cost a significant amount of money because the risk, especially if it's currently passing through the Wayfarer Plains, the risk would be significantly high for a courier. They'd probably need to hire guards and all sorts of precautions to be able to pull that off. So, honestly, it's probably not feasible.
Right.
We should try. He says, I mean, like, I'm happy to try and requisition something, but it's literally a moving target. So,
Miera, give me a moment. I'll see if I can condense it to 25 words.
Yeah.
And will you be able to send it to somebody I know?
I think I actually have to be familiar with them.
you do. Correct. So whilst you ponder upon that situation, Grumpfel, I'll get to you in a tick because we're well aware of what Grumpfel is wanting to do. But just very quickly, B and Delgrim, is there anything in particular that either of you are wanting to do over this period of time, whether it's by yourself, whether it's a conversation with the whole party, anything like that?
Delgrim will put a platinum piece down on the bar and fully intends to just spend the entire day getting absolutely fucking wasted.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, look, you would put the platinum piece down and Grazin would be, you tell me what you want and I'll feed you as many drinks as this will get you.
Brilliant.
In fact, even he's basically like, look, Pippi will be essentially your personal like server for the course of this.
Excellent.
What about B?
Similar but not the same. B will at a completely separate table take a seat. And won't be like getting shit-faced. But will just kind of be like nursing a drink. Kind of going through her spell book and her notes and all of that sort of stuff, and just kind of watching the time pass more than anything.
So doing that, you would observe the rise and fall of the customers in here. You know, as the day reaches its conclusion, as the workday reaches its conclusion, there is a steady increase of the people who come into the outside in, obviously with the intents of then moving on into the courts. As it gets later, that then starts to fall off, as you know, those people have all gone and done their thing. But it is a regular, constant churn of people through this establishment. All sorts of individuals. Although you would observe that very few Fae come in here. It seems to be predominantly just the mortals of the town. Miera, with you as well, beyond trying to maybe potentially help out Tiernan, was there anything that Miera is wanting to do, or conversations she's wanting to have with individuals or with the whole party? Because it could be the whole party has a conversation at some stage over the course of this period of time.
I think I want to try as much as possible to get people to kind of communicate. But my main goal will be helping Tiernan and maybe helping Grumpfel with whatever they're needing. So I was thinking about maybe going to a shop and seeing what I could buy in the way of stuff that would help out later on. Yeah, I just want to I'm just hanging around. I'm not getting drunk.
Yeah. Okay. Is anyone trying to have any kind of conversations across the group, or is there sort of that sort of slightly uncomfortable, I guess, vibe that seems to be sitting across the party at the moment.
Miera's not talking to the pouty twins at the moment.
The pouty twins?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who's the second powder?
You.
Oh, I thought it was Grumpfel. No, Delgrim won't be pouting. He'll be he'll like have a table set up, and so anyone who kind of wants to hang out and have a chat is more than welcome to, and will be offered a drink as they do so. And yeah, so no pouting. He's haggard. To all intents and purposes, it looks like he's having the time of his life.
Okay. So Grumpfel has talked about going off to the local temple of Kamateon, which he's been to before. Miera, were you wanting to go with Grumpfel when he does that? Because you were sort of saying you wanted to maybe hang out or help.
Yeah, I probably won't interfere with Grumpfel doing that because that's kind of like a private thing. So maybe I'll just like go to the shops, and then otherwise I'll probably just like go up to the room and rest, and if we get called down to have a group chat, I'll be there for that, but otherwise I'm just gonna chill.
Yeah. Just ping me a message if there's anything like in particular you're trying to shop for, just so we you get a chance to try and get stuff that you want to get. We don't spend too long focusing on that, and I can give you a yay or a nay. But whilst that's all going on, Grumpfel, you take your time to quietly slip out of the inn and make your way through the streets of Wyldeport towards the Tree of Life and Loss, which is the temple that you have visited before. And you had quite a significant vision there. And you arrive, and once again you can see the giant tree that makes up the center of this temple. The serpents are winding their ways around the boughs, and the giant pool of water that this tree sits in. And on either end of this temple, the shrine to Kamateon and the shrine to Maisha, the balance between the two, of which you're very familiar with. And you can see Callista, who is the priestess that you had talked to. Tall, slender, with those dark brown robes. And you can see the green hair is chopped very, very close. The deep brown eyes, obviously a fae of some type. And as she sees you come in, she is talking to what appears to be another patron, and you can see she sort of gives them a smile and a pat on the shoulder, and they go and sit down on one of the pews, and she makes her way over, and she gives you quite a deep bow, and says, "Grumpfel, it's good to see that you've returned. How have your travels been, my friend?"
It is good to be seen again, as it is good to see you too, Callista. It has been an eventful time since I was last here. Short as it was, a lot has happened, and I find myself hoping sincerely that I could come and sit and contemplate and hopefully have a moment of clarity like I did last time as to things in motion for myself and those who travel with me.
I mean, absolutely, my friend. You are more than welcome to either sit out here under the tree, or we do have some slightly smaller private chambers where if you wish to be able to contemplate in silence, you're more than welcome to use one of those as well. Or if you need someone to talk to, I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you as well. I can see that you seem to be carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders at the moment.
Yeah, yes, it does. It does feel that way. Whether intended or not, sometimes the weight of the world finds itself on one's shoulders. Perhaps a moment or two just to myself so that I can clear my thoughts, and then perhaps conversation shortly.
Certainly. She gestures off to the side, and you can see tucked away in sort of one of the darker corners, a couple of small doors which lead off to private rooms. And she says, avail yourself to one of those. You can use it for as long as you wish. And when you wish to talk, please, I will be out here. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you.
My many thanks and gratitude, and Grumpfel will bow low.
So with that, Grumpfel, you head off for a moment's contemplation.
Yeah.
We'll swing back around to the rest of the party, unless there's something else.
Yeah, just one quick thing. When he sits down and takes the load off, as they say, he will actually use the book as well to flip through. And specifically, he wants to see, not only flipping through to have a look at, again, what's been written there, but also to see what has since appeared in the book.
You put the book down. So in the little rooms, there's a very plain wooden bench, a small desk,
that's
a candle. It's very, very basic.
That's fine.
And as you sit down at the desk, you put the book down in front of you, and you open the cover, and the pages almost seem like they move on their own. And it opens up to a section of the book which is very much focused around mercy. That sometimes there are situations in life and in the world where no matter what you're confronted with, no matter how much one may try and invoke the powers within themselves that the gods may provide, that sometimes one just has to let things go, let life play out the way that the fates seem to dictate. And you take this moment to contemplate that as we swing back around to the rest of the party. So again, I just want to touch base on everyone else. Tiernan.
I was talking to Grazin, wasn't I?
Yep.
Am I aware of where the next, or the most, where the next stop for Cathar Bar will be?
Make an intelligence check.
Intelligence. Nice.
Intelligence.
12.
12. With your time on the city, you were never terribly fazed about where in the world you were, because your world was the city. But you do remember, and you do remember conversations where certainly autumn, winter, the city tended to be the time where the city would be heading further north. We're heading towards warmer climates, heading towards Shardfall, which was always its final destination before basically completing its loop again. So you're not sure exactly. You're pretty confident it's not going to be anywhere near the Wayfarer Plains, but beyond that, it would be a hard call to make. The only thing that I think, especially with your high intelligence, is that it would be in the Rivenlands, and the connection of information and how things were dealt with there would suggest that if you could maybe get something to the Rivenlands, it might be easier to then get that to Cathar Bar, as opposed to if it was in the Wayfarer Plains where there's very little kind of like civilization, and just be like, who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Yep. If that's the case, then I'd probably be asking Grazin if it's possible to hire either a messenger or just write up a letter and sell it to a trader who's going that way to pass it on.
he would advise that, like, there's not a lot of trade that goes west from here. Generally, it's all sort of east along the coastline, just purely because going west means traveling the Twilight Road, and whilst it's protected by the Accords, it still comes with a certain amount of risk. But he thinks for the right amount of money, he could probably find a trader who could carry it to maybe Dalian's Rest. Alternatively, if you were willing to pay more, he could probably find like a courier that might be willing to take it that direction as well.
Okay. How much does he think it would cost to get a letter delivered to Dalian's Rest?
To get a letter with the intention of then going from Dalian's Rest to Cathar Baal?
What I'm thinking of is putting a letter within a letter and addressing it to the Lord.
Lord Esselway?
Yeah, Lord Esselway.
Yep.
In the hopes that he would be able to get that letter to Shardfall.
Yeah. Look, absolutely. So Grazen, probably, I think you're probably looking at maybe 10 gold pieces.
Okay. Yeah, 10 is
it's a long journey, but it's also comparatively safe in many respects. So yeah, 10 gold pieces, and he said he's more than willing to get someone he knows some people who can do the legwork to get that sorted out for you.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
Do you want the letter sent to you?
If you have got a letter written, 100%.
All right. I will send it over.
Ooh, letters. Ooh.
You're gonna put that up in Discord, or is it just gonna remain a mystery forever?
Well, you haven't revealed the deal, have you, Delgrim?
Okay.
Oh, touche.
Yikes.
Okay. Excellent. Again, B, anything that's come up that you wanted to chase up on at all with all this going on?
No, I genuinely think what her intention is just people watching.
Yep.
And not even in the sense that it's trying to spot anyone sus or anything like that. It's just kind of like one of those almost reminiscent kind of moments for B. So she's just kind of sitting there, watching. I think by now, like the actual poutiness is probably dissipated. Like, and more than anything, it looks tired.
Yep. You at some stage, Peppy, who you see appears to be feeding just a constant stream of alcohol to Delgrim, swings past you and just very gently just sort of checks in to make sure you're okay. You know, do I need to bring you some food, or can I get you anything to drink? And you just have to be alcoholic. We've got some nice non-alcoholic things. Just that sort of almost motherly, except for the fact that she's significant. She's a lot younger than you, but just making sure that you're doing okay, as she's obviously noticed how sort of fatigued you are.
Yeah. And would absolutely accept a beverage and some snacks. But otherwise, just I'm okay.
And she would just give you like a little pat on the shoulder as you continue watching this truly strange collection of individuals coming and going. We're going to swing back around to Grumpfel. Just as you continue to peruse through the book, seeing what had appeared in the text the last time that you were here, reading through the pages, and again, at times the pages seem to almost turn themselves, or you go to turn to the next part, and it'll skip ahead a bit, almost without you doing anything, and it will land on something else which just talks to you in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you wanted to do with the book, or in this private moment, or did you want to now go out and have a conversation with Callista after sort of taking this time to think?
Other than mentioning some more poignant pieces about mercy and acceptance of fates, is there any other little pieces that sort of bubble to the surface that have almost like someone's taken a highlighter, whatever they are, to the text and for want of illumination at the moment they did it, and to the reader of now?
Nothing specific, although it does at one stage call out the importance of there's like a little sort of like a parable which talks about the strength of friendship and how, you know, individuals are never as strong as a group that is close, a group that holds true friendship for each other. And there's another section which also talks about one's faith, and that the importance of Kamateon and Maisha and the balance of life and death.
Mm-hmm.
And how each in its own respect is a celebration, and that there are absolutely ways in which sometimes people find that a death will occur, but it's not that person's time, and that there are members of the clergy who are able to call forth powerful magics which can bring back the soul of a deceased person, but only if they truly want to return, and that the magic is not always successful.
Yes, which given Grumpfel's background prior to taking his step into the life of a cleric, and when he was sort of part of the clan and a traveler and a trader and a mercenary, well, not a mercenary, like the muscle of the trade caravan, he would have seen a lot of that and known that every step can be tenuous, every step can be tedious, every step can also be the fantastic first, the first step of a greater and wider plan. So the page speaks volumes to him. So he'll if Callista, if he pokes his nose out to look, and she looks like she's free to talk, he may. Otherwise, he'll wait and until he can see her.
And like you would notice that she would just be pottering around the temple, and when she sees you gesturing, she would come over and she's like, "We wanted to have that conversation now, Grumpfel."
Yes, if you have a moment or three to sit and discuss or a few things and offer some thought that have eluded me.
I mean, absolutely, she says, and she gestures for you to follow, and she leads you over to the giant tree, and you can see that she's barefoot, and she gestures for you to take off your shoes, and then you can see that there are certain seats around the edge of this pool, and she sits down and just dabbles her feet in the waters around the tree, and she just says, "I find that this helps me connect with the life that resides both here and within ourselves. The water, it's like a conduit between life and loss, and the tree and each of us. Just join me here, Grumpfel, and we'll have our conversation."
Absolutely, and he'll do that, and he'll sort of set aside his pack and take his shoes off, and he'll actually bring out the book as well after, like, he would have packed it away to move from the room to where they are. So he'll bring the book back out again. Last I was here, we spoke about this book that I found, and a little of the company that I keep, and forgiven old man, how much I have divulged of the journey I find myself on. I find the group that I'm in are family without being blood, and just as the fighting of brothers and sisters with squabbling, sometimes it can get a bit tenuous. And where you reach a moment where you think, that's it, I'm done, I've had enough, I feel this almost a voice say to me, there's more to do. Stay your journey, stay your course. There's more to do. Guidance can help both you and your fellows. Just now, flipping through my tome here, makes mention of acceptance of things and journey, the journey of life, and of mercy, which was obvious until you read it, and then it's obvious some more, if that makes sense. I mean, one day, those of us who follow Kamata and Maisha, our time and duty will be fulfilled, and the relative domains of light and dark of Maisha and Kamataon will claim us for rest, and I truly hope that those I journey with have a long and blessed time and duty, but sometimes it feels like it is a step forward becomes 2 steps backwards, and I find myself trying to make sense of it. There's so many things that throw in your way of deals and bargains and courses laid out that then shift, almost as if it knows that you're at the last step of it, and it changes again. And though that can be intriguing and mysterious, forgive this old man when he says, I find it to be frustrating at times. And Grumpfel kind of chuckles and then falls silent again.
Callista puts a hand on your shoulder, and anyone who walked into the temple at this point in time, it would be like seeing 2 friends sitting by a small pool, just sharing a close moment together, and there would almost be a light and a darkness mirroring Kamataon and Maisha coming from the 2 of you. And she would just say, Grumpfel, my friend, that's life. There's no rhyme or reason. The gods don't direct us or tell us what to do or use us as pawns in some kind of game. The gods are simply there, and we worship them, and we provide them with the words that they need to hear, and they provide us with the powers and the spells and the knowledge that we require here. But it's up to us how we use that knowledge, how we use that power. There's no motivation, there's no drive amongst the gods. And people are confusing. People are worrying, people are frustrating, people are amazing and beautiful and terrible and horrible and all of these things. And friendships come and friendships go, but it's the friendships which withstand the greatest conflict, the greatest troubles, which are the friendships that you will carry through your life. And it's the sign of a true friendship.
Yeah, indeed, and I don't I don't look for governance. I don't look for dictation. I do look for guidance. But you're right. You know, it's not theirs to dictate. It's theirs to guide us. And sometimes making sense of that guidance is not as clear as everyone would hope. And it's if I may, it's frustrating and yet clarifying to hear you say what I already know. But I guess saying the words out loud to someone that I know has a similar path to myself to hear back what I know and to hear back what I know I should do.
Well, just know,
Yes.
Grumpfel, that if anything occurs, if anything happens to you or your friends upon this journey, and there's anything I can do, they're all welcome here in this temple. And anything, any aid, any help I can provide is yours within the realms of the power that I can wield within this space. But perhaps for now, perhaps we just sit and enjoy just this moment.
Indeed, and he kind of from seated gives like a shallow bow, a tip of his head towards her.
And she does the same, and she just leaves her hand on your shoulder as the two of you contemplate life and loss and everything that lies before you. With that, is there anything else the party would like to do before the next day rolls around?
There's one more thing I guess I would like to do, if that's okay. But it won't be until like kind of the night starts to get late and it's kind of time for people to start going to bed.
Okay. Is there anything anyone wants to do before then?
Yeah, Tiernan will do one last thing before he goes to his room to tinker with his shard pistol. But he gets a glass of wine. Dirty mind. Yes.
That fucking giggle, Cass. Jesus fucking Christ. Can someone just clip her giggle? Anyway, go, John.
Grabs a glass of wine and goes over to the table Delgrim is at, which I'm pretty sure Delgrim's 3 sheets to the wind by this point.
2.5, and he'll offer you a second glass of wine as you approach. And he's drinking from the hat at this point. Just to see if he can.
Tiernan sits at the table, looks into the glass, drinks the whole thing, one foul swoop, and then turns to Delgrim and says, I'm only upset with you because you've made decisions that involve other people's lives. You made a deal with the Fae Queen, and we have no idea about any of the terms and conditions.
I know terms and conditions, Tiernan. You're either happy to get your mother back or you're not. You decide.
You made a decision without thoughts of my own thoughts and wishes.
I'm sure you have made many decisions without considering my thoughts, and that is fine because we are individual people who make our own thoughts and decisions.
But none of those decisions have involved your family, Delgrim.
My family is lost or dead, so not on the table is an option. The least I can do is give you a chance to have yours back.
Tiernan's already halfway across the room by that stage.
Bye!
Okay. Then, later that night, B.
I think B kind of getting to a point where like she's tired, she just wants to sleep. But she would stand from her table and place a finger to her forehead, and this like violet energy strand she would pull from within her mind and kind of tie it up like a little bow. And as she does, she would also make her way over to Delgrim's table. And she wouldn't sit, she would just stand and say, I don't think anyone can ask you to change your mind, but reconsider making them go through something like this. And she would present this little energy strand to you. And then she would leave.
And Delgrim would take it, having left then not be able to respond. And it's just kind of like hanging in front of himself and wiggle it around a little bit, try and figure out what it is.
Ham, I don't know how this activates, whether like it has to be kind of like just held onto or what happens like.
I think it would be held onto and then just like sort of concentrated on.
Oh yeah, he'll concentrate. It'll be a little bit wobbly, but there'll definitely be a concentration factor while he's trying to.
So as you do that, it dissolves in front of you into these
I broke it. Oh no.
rain of particles, which then just sort of like form this little cloud around you, and then almost before you can blink, just into your head almost imperceptibly. And what does that do, B? Or is this a thing to share, or is this a thing that
No, I'll share this. This is fine. This you would see almost like a montage. And it would be, you would see the inside of a tavern. And you would see and understand that B is in a space where she feels accepted and happy around friends that she's just met and have just like taken her on board without questions being asked. And there's drinks and it gets really messy and it gets really stupid. And it goes all into the night. And then you would see the next day, she kind of hangs out with two of them, has real good time, and it's just kind of like this little friendship montage. And at the very end, you would see her saying goodbye to someone, a gentleman, and then you would see almost like standing from the outskirts of this town, this like energy encompass this entire town, and a friend just get completely disintegrated. Someone that you've just seen be kind of go through this speedrun friendship over the course of a couple of days, just absolutely disintegrated. And watch as this entire town just can't escape this energy, and time moves differently there.
It's cool. Delgrim's gonna be a little rattled by that. I think following that is the point at which he'll probably wrap up then himself for the evening and head into bed, just in this weird kind of,
oh my god, I've drunk too much. That was oh
like,
my god.
What the fuck did I just see? That was terrifying. As he heads to lay his head down for the evening.
The next morning rolls around, and you all wake up at various times to the sound.
Does Grumpfel come back from the temple, or does he spend the night at the temple?
Grumpfel would whichever you want to do, my dude.
Like,
yeah.
No, like yeah, it's fine. He would have thanked Callista and head back to the outside inn.
Cool. So you were all woken up the following morning at various times to the sound of light rain on the roof. You individually roll down into the common room, and there is a slight chill in the air this morning as you appreciate that you were getting closer to winter. Is there anything as a party you want to do before you head towards the Melody of Stars?
Grumpfel is actually up early this morning and is bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and downstairs, hopefully first, speaking to the bar staff, barkeep, whoever's there, and is proceeding to actually make some of his coffee down by the hearth.
Yep, not a problem. And you would notice as each of the party members come down the stairs.
He will give a couple of gold coins to them as corkage, as it were.
Cool.
I think Delgrim would give one more chance for anyone who doesn't want to actually join him closing this deal to do so. The Toad made it very clear. With Faye, a deal is struck, and must be seen through. But there is no need for any of you to see the closing of this deal if you have concerns. So feel free to stay here. I will venture into Melody of Stars and acquire a moon, Grumpfel. You will need to take this to Gil to secure our ship. Yes.
I will accompany you, Delgrim. Undomesticated equines could not keep me away. I am there, my deep brother, to be by your side, to walk with you, come what may.
Do you want to maybe give us an idea of what we are expecting when we walk in, so we're not walking in blind?
I hope to hand over the heart, and I think while we have it, we should be relatively safe. She seems to want it. It is heart of her father. I really wish we had learned that before having made this deal, because maybe we could have perhaps negotiated something a bit more than just the fucking moon. But hey, here we are.
So the deal is what? We got the heart, we get the moon. That's the deal.
Give
End
her
of
the
story.
heart.
So swapsies. Straight swapsies?
Give her the heart, she gives the moon, and we can use that to get both, and also Tiernan's mother is freed.
Cool. So that we shouldn't have any issues. There should be no reason why we can't all just go swap the moon, swap the heart for the moon, and we leave.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any issues at all.
It should
Well,
be
it
no
seems like a
issues.
very straightforward deal.
But Tiernan has raised concern before. It is a very dangerous situation, and I would not want any of you to get tricked into a new deal.
No, well, if it's a straight swap, there shouldn't be any discussion. Swaps. Go.
Very good. And Delgrim will kind of just throw a small side eye at B, and prepare himself for the day, ready to head on out to the Melody of Stars.
Can I see if I notice that?
You can make an insight check to see if you can pick up on any of this, and I guess
B would shift like uncomfortably seeing the side eye.
Yeah. Delgrim, you make an appropriate roll.
Sure.
While they're doing that, Grumpfel's just going to quickly say, if anyone has a concern or a question or some requiring insight or something that we ourselves do not know, the local the Temple of Kamataeon, one of the leaders of the temple, Callista, has invited me that I can bring anyone with me to seek to seek guidance. If you're unsure of what this is in its totality, we can ask.
I can protect myself from any disadvantageous elements of walking back in there. But I truly think
It's more of not protecting against disadvantage. It's acquiring of knowledge to go in a little more forewarned and therefore forearmed.
I think closing deal should be relatively simple. Hand over the heart, get the moon, get Tiernan's mother out of there.
Hess, what did you roll?
Dirty 20.
Ooh, which just edges out my 19.
so yes. So Miera, you would just notice Delgrim shoot a very quick look at B.
And I think you would get the sense that he's not divulging everything.
Yeah. Mira's eyes will just narrow and she'll just be like, sure. And we'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Very well. Are we ready to go?
Well, we're all dressed up.
Are we sure this is what we want to do?
Got to get my mother out of there somehow.
Give incredibly powerful Fey artifact to incredibly powerful rebel Fey Queen? Absolutely not, but we're not going to be around for consequences, so...
Can't we just maybe find another way?
It's too late. Deal is done.
Did we have a timeline on the deal?
No. We did not.
And the Fey Court is not going anywhere?
It is not, but... Grumpfel, I would like to get the fuck out of this place,
We
please.
can find another way then.
Yeah, that is not. It's not a bad. It is an option.
Or alternatively, Fey Queen gets really annoyed and hunts me down for the rest of my days. No, thank you. Let's just get this done. Again, the freedom of Tiernan's mother is riding on completion of this deal. Let us close it out, get it done, and get out of here. And get back on track to make sure that Miera's fucking head doesn't explode. Yes?
Do you think this hut could help Miera's situation other than trading it? I don't know what this thing does.
Moot point. It belonged to Fey Queen as of
It's too late. He's
however long it take to get there.
Delgrim already made the deal. And unless you try to renegotiate, but
please do not try to renegotiate with that woman. No one. Please. No more deals. While we're here. Or when we fucking leave. I think this is a wise decision to avoid any new agreements with any new fake creature in this place. Surely on that we can all agree, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well, let's go. And Token will head out and start fucking marching towards the fucking Melody of Stars.
Tiernan's gonna trail to the back.
Okay. You make the short journey to the entrance to the courts. The outside end being positioned not too far off. It is first thing in the morning, but even now there is still a longish line of individuals waiting to get in. Again, dressed in the various garbs of the different styles of court that are in there. And it's not long before you are at the front of the queue. And you focus on the court of which you wish to enter. And you pass through the gate.
With me trailing at the back, I want to let everyone else through.
Yep.
Before I step through the portal, I wish to cast Enhanced Ability on myself for Charisma bonus. And then, if everyone's gone, but I'm going to unlatch the rear gears on the back of my pistol, and they start turning up. And then I'm just going to put my coat over it and step through.
Okay. What's the duration on enhanced ability?
An hour.
Yeah, cool.
Miera was going to, once they got inside before Delgrim marches off, do the same thing and cast enhance ability on him for charisma as well.
On who? On
Delgrim.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Cute.
Okay.
And what did Tiernan do? Sorry.
Cat's Grace. It's charisma. Oh no, Eagle's
Eagle Splendor. Yeah.
But Tiernan does that to himself.
Yeah,
Yes.
gotcha.
Cool. Okay.
And Delgrim is going to cast on himself protection from evil and good on approaching the court.
Okay. Interesting.
And we'll make a bit of a show of it as well.
Yep. You pass through the entranceway, and once again you feel that gentle breeze just lightly against your cheek as you pass into darkness before you begin to see those tiny specks of light high above, the stars within the melody. And as the eyes adjust, you can see the strange collection of individuals that are in here, dressed in clothes of exotic fabric and design. That low, almost imperceptible melancholy music that plays throughout this court. The gentle sway and the gentle dance of people. And you can see some are off to the sides. There's like small shea lounges around which people are lazing on. And all of you feel that deep, deep melancholy, that heartache, that loss grip you that you felt in here last time. And a reminder that all wisdom saving throws in here are at disadvantage.
I think before approaching Lesserania?
Yeah.
Lesserania. Before approaching Lesserania, I think Delgrim's going to kind of stop for a bit and then turn around to the group. He'll approach Tiernan first, I think. Tiernan, once this is done, take your mother and run. Get out of here, just in case this goes poorly or I say something stupid and once again make things worse. When it is done, when the deal is finished, take her and go. B, I'm truly sorry, and you are right. Unfortunately, what is done is done. To Grumpfel, he will drop into Undercommon immediately. Well, my brother, all I can ask of you is all that you have done. Look after them.
Well, if this truly is to be goodbye, it will not be a shallow wound. It'll be heavy on my heart, and I will do all that I can without entering into a bargain to keep you around for a bit longer, old boy.
It will be fine. The one thing you have to absolutely remember, please get the moon, get the ship, get out of here. And then he'll turn to Miera. Miera, you have a kindness and warmth and generosity in you that is truly an incredible inspiration. But so too there is a darkness. Learn what that darkness is, so that it does not destroy everything that you love. And he will turn with the heart of the song in his hand and approach Lesserania.
So you find yourselves in the center of the Melody of Stars, that large open space with what feels like the night sky above you, the moon full, glimmering down, the dais with the two tall thrones made of black obsidian, and upon one, the short individual with the deep blue hair and the black eyes of Lacerania. And beside her, Bluebell, also just lounging on her respective throne. Lacerania sees you making your way through the crowd. And the crowd sort of splits and opens, giving you space as you come through. And as Lacerania sees you, a smile begins to form on her lips until it is that large, almost unnatural grin that you have seen before. Oh, you've returned. Have you brought for me what I requested for the deal to be completed?
I have told you once before. I do not take oaths lightly, and I have your heart. And he will throw it so unceremoniously at her feet.
It arches end over end, almost in slow motion, before it hits the dais with a resounding clatter which echoes in this space a lot more than you would anticipate. And it rolls until it rests and hits the bottom of her long dress. And you can see her wince as the smile falters somewhat. And her eyes just for a moment flash at you, Delgrim. But she looks down and she picks it up. She examines it. I really didn't think you would be able to do this. I'm very, very impressed.
Wonderful. Now, if you don't mind, I believe there was a balance to the deal that needs to be met. Give my friends here your moon.
You know how on a clear night, you feel like you could actually reach up into the sky and just like pluck the moon out? That is literally what she does. She reaches up and places her fingers around this moon, which in theory you feel should be a long way away, and pulls it from the night sky, and brings it down. It's quite small.
Does she look pained to do it?
She doesn't look pained. She doesn't look happy about it. And she looks at it, and then she looks at you, Delgrim, and says, there's a final part of this deal as well. I give you the moon, and I free your friend's mother.
Correct. I'll take that.
She holds it back for a moment as you reach for it. Are you going to walk up the dais to her, are you? Because she's just sitting there and she just reaches out and plucks it.
He won't aggressively approach her because he's learned his lesson and he's not a fucking idiot. Wow, thanks. But he will hold his hand out expectantly first. We can approach the prices one at a time. An act of good faith. But then, that you will meet the terms of the deal. Hand over, if you would.
She stands from her throne and walks to the edge of the dais and offers a hand to you.
Which he will take.
And almost delicately, she guides you up the stairs and will, just still holding the moon out, almost sort of in a slightly teasing fashion, will pull you in close. Who's your choice for the final part of the deal, Delgrim?
There was never any choice. It will be me.
She sort of moves the moon into her palm, takes your hand, and
Do we hear that, by the way?
Make a perception check.
I feel like they're getting pretty
Advantage.
close. Like, everyone in this room surely is watching this.
Oh,
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And I feel like, I feel like I'd be trying real hard to hear it.
Yeah. No, make a perception check. Yep.
There goes my only nat 20 for the night.
Ooh.
25.
Make that 2 of us, John. That's 27 on a nat 20. Thank you very much.
Damn, the party's
disadvantage.
everyone's just like, what the fuck is going on?
Grumpfel with disadvantage.
No, disadvantage.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was saving throws, yeah. Not skill
Oh,
checks.
I thought it was just wisdom. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, hang on a second.
All
What?
all wisdom saving throws are
Okay.
Yep. Mira, you trying to hear as well?
I rolled a 19.
Yeah, all of you can
18.
hear that.
Yeah, in that case, B will just shout out, please don't do this.
Lacerania puts the hand on yours so that you can feel the moon in between. And her other hand she puts around your waist.
What's happening?
And she looks down at the rest of the group and says, your friend's mother is free to go. And she pulls you in close, Delgrim. And in your ear, she whispers, she was always free to go. She just chooses to stay here. And then kisses you.
As this kiss lands, Delgrim will be reaching for his axe, attempting to draw it.
So, I would like you. This is going to be a contested strength roll.
At this point, Grumpfel's grabbed his holy symbol and starting to pray loudly.
Hamish, I also have a question.
Yeah.
Does it look like she, as she kind of leans in, she is casting any form of magic?
No.
Okay. Can I hold an action?
Describe to me what you're trying to do, and potentially there's an option. Yes.
Oh, if I can detect her casting any magic on Delgrim,
Yep.
I would like to cast Counterspell.
Okay. Noted. Delgrim, what did you roll for your strength?
Roll a 12, bringing it to let me say strength 18.
Okay. Not bad. She got a 22.
Mm-hmm. She's strong, lady.
The strength of this diminutive individual just has you almost grappled as she pulls you in, and you feel her lips connect with yours. It is both the most sensual thing you have experienced in your life, and the most terrifying, as you feel the life just get sucked out of your body. The rest of the party, you see this kiss, and it looks similar to when the deal was originally struck. She's got one arm around his waist and has pulled Delgrim in. It's really quite sensual.
Tiernan would be trying to call out to Bluebell to come. You're free to go now.
Okay.
Does she move?
She is sitting there looking incredibly confused. What do you mean I'm free? I don't understand. But
You're to leave the court.
But I don't want to. Delgrim.
Fuck, yes.
What is the last thought for Delgrim Harrowfell before the life leaves his body?
Is it capable of being spoken? Or is this purely internal monologue?
This is purely what is going through Delgrim's mind. He is embraced in this kiss.
His thoughts on hearing that about Bluebell specifically, and probably combined with this sense of melancholy that kind of lingers through this entire place, he'll sink into this kiss. And his last thoughts will be, at least I cannot fail them again.
The rest of the party, you watch as this kiss seems to linger. And then Lacerania pulls back slightly. And you watch as she almost gently lowers Delgrim's body to the ground. And the hand that holds the moon falls lifelessly, and the moon bounces dink, 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 dink down the stairs and rolls and stops at Grumpfel's feet. As you look at the now lifeless body of Delgrim Harrowfell. And that is where we are going to go to break. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. Go get a drink. Go have a snack. Go get some fresh air. We'll be back soon.
Go get a healing cleric.
In the land of Peldorn, where the echoes call, through the ruins deep, through the rise and fall, radiant shadows dreaming of the dawn, that which shines will blind us all. Tiernan crossed with shard and steel, searching for the lost. Blinky flies beside him, a faithful friend at any cost. Miera weaves the storm and flame, magic wild, chaos untamed. Power churning, bright yet dire, she walks the edge of fate and fire. Radiant shadows dancing in the night, guided by the stars, taking up the fight, through the darkest valleys to the highest peaks, standing by each other as the darkness speaks. Delgrim stalks where the wild things cry, a sharpened blade, a hunter's eye, stranger to stars in the light of day. He hunts for the means to fell his prey. Grumpfel draws on death's domain, a good life's rest well earned, with Cometeon's blessing, sharing the lessons learned. Bee's mind is a map of endless lore, a wizard's gaze at the arcane door. Her blood runs thick with a trauma past, she weave her spell as the clock turns back. Radiant shadows dancing in the night, guided by the stars, taking up the fight, through the darkest valleys to the highest peaks, standing by each other as the darkness speaks. Blinding gold and shattered crowns, lies that weigh and pull us down. A light too bright, a fate too tall, that which shines will blind us all. Radiant shadows dancing in the night, guided by the stars, taking up the fight, through the darkest valleys to the highest peaks. Together they will stand as the darkness speaks. In the land of Peldorn, their epic tale is spun, a story still unfolding, a battle not yet won. Radiant shadows dancing in the night, guided by the stars, taking up the fight. Radiant shadows, can you hear the call? That which shines will blind us all.
Oh my god. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You're choosing to spend your time with us, and that's like the most valuable thing you have. So it's super nice that you're spending it here. We hope that you're enjoying the stream. It was, got a little bit intense there at the end. But it's not over yet. So let's dive back into things. So, with Delgrim's body gently laying at the feet of Lacerania and the moon now resting at Grumpfel's feet, a very confused seeming Bluebell. What do you guys want to do?
Grumpfel, holding his holy symbol and has been kind of just praying while this was happening, is going to, in one swift motion, pick up the moon, grab Delgrim's outstretched hand, and start dragging him the fuck towards where we came into the court.
Sure.
B will go over and help so that he's not just being dragged.
Keep in mind, like Grumpfel for an old man is pretty fit, but it's still only like strength 11. So
yeah, like I'll come and give you a hand.
So
yeah.
So sorry, I'm just going to say. So Lacerania just watches this unfold. Doesn't say anything. Just watches. There's a small smile on her face, and she just like dabs at the corner of her mouth.
Yeah,
I think as I'm Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, Grumpfel immediately knows he needs to secure Delgrim's body, withdraw from the court before anything else happens. Otherwise, and also, if he was to hang around, he would start meting out some bad language. So yeah, if B comes over to help him start to sort of get the Delgrim's body and make haste to get out of the, like, you can see that like Grumpfel has no desire to dally. He is going to try and get out with Delgrim's body ASAP.
And I think as we're kind of doing that, B would say to you, Grumpfel, can you do anything?
Yes, but not here. And he will say that in Drow to you.
Tiernan's going to basically walk up center, so he's not on the dais, just in front of it, facing Queen is it Lacerania?
Lacerania, yep.
Queen Lacerania, is this how you deal with visitors to your court?
Yes, it is. The deal was struck. He was the one who agreed to the terms. He was the one who spoke the words. The deal is done. You have your moon. Bluebell is more than free to go if she wants to. To which Bluebell goes, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to stay here. This is where I want to be. And Lacerania just looks at you with the biggest, like, shit-eating grin.
You've obeyed the letter of the deal, but not the spirit.
Correct. Your friend just chose his words poorly.
Do you hold Bluebell's memories?
Do I hold Bluebell's memories? No, not at all.
Her equipment?
And Bluebell is just like, what? What do you mean, my memories?
Her missing memories?
No. No control over any memories she may or may not have.
Her equipment and her shard fragment?
I mean, there's certainly items that she possibly brought with her when she first came here, but, I mean, those belong to her, don't they? They're her possessions.
Well, that's debatable. But
can Miera pipe up because she's still there? Queen Lacerania, are you saying that you won't stop us from trying to get Bluebell to come with us?
No, not at all.
Miera will go up to Bluebell in that case and cast suggestion.
Can you let me get out with Delgrim's body first?
Where's
should
it
be
with this entire
making it
meeting?
towards the door. I checked before to make sure that she wasn't going to try and stop. So
Okay.
should be
Okay.
good.
Okay. All right. What is firstly? What is the saving throw?
Wisdom 14.
Which she will make a disadvantage. Oh. I was like, I rolled a 12 on that dice, but it was a D12. Whoops. Oh, Cass. Oh, buddy. Yeah. No, an absolute fail. What is it that you suggest?
I'm going to suggest you gather your things and join us for a walk around outside the court.
Technically, that's two things, but being the kind and benevolent DM I am.
It says to suggest a course of activity limited to a sentence or two.
Yeah, a course of activity. But like I said, I will let that's okay. But well played. So you can see the panic on Bluebell's face as sort of both you and Tiernan are moving forward and saying these things, and Grumpfel and B are manhandling the body of Delgrim to get him out. And then the panic subsides to just a look of just blankness. And she goes, I think I'll go get all my things and go for a walk outside the court. And she stands and she walks down off the dais, and you see that she heads off through the crowd. Lesserania looks at you, Miera, and stands up and walks down the stairs of the dais, her long gown trailing behind her until she is like eye to eye with you, because you're both short. And again, there is that uncomfortably large smile. Well played. You would probably fit in quite well here. Perhaps you'd like to stay and keep me company since I'm losing my other plaything.
No, thank you. I have far more worthwhile things to do. And Miera will turn on her heel, flicker the bird, and make a beeline towards where Grumpfel and B are dragging Delgrim's body.
I prefer to say carrying. Like, I don't think we're
I
dragging.
mean, yeah, I suppose he is tiny.
He's small.
Fine.
He's small, and I'm not.
No. You, the two of you can lift it. So, Tiernan, upon seeing all of this, what is Tiernan doing?
Well, he's gotten the mother's leaving. He just looks at Queen Lasarania. You treat people unfairly in here. One day, someone's going to come in here and treat you unfairly. Power dynamic or no. Turn around and leave.
And she just calls after you. Can't wait for that day. Sounds like so much delicious fun. Have fun with your mother and your dead friend. As Grumpfel and B, you're making your way out. People aren't stopping you, but the crowd certainly is not parting like when you first came in. And there is a certain amount of jostling. And there are looks from people, there are smirks, there are whispers. You can almost feel the crowd here feeding off the sadness of the events that have unfolded. Tiernan, you and Miera catch up comparatively quickly with the other two.
I'll grab the leg, one of the legs, if they've got the arms to try to get out of here quicker.
And it doesn't take you too much longer before you exit out into the rainy streets. Grumpfel, was there something that you want to do?
I was just going to say, how obvious is that of us trying to make our way through, and then they're not, but they look like they're enjoying it? How that's palpable?
It's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grumpfel will start singing the happiest frickin' undercommon, not undercommon, the happiest frickin' Svazina song he can think of in Fae, because little snippet, messaging Hamish before we entered the court, Grumpfel cast tongues and so is able to speak in Fae, and he will sing the happiest joyful song he can think of to disrupt their pleasure of this moment.
Make a performance roll for me.
I would like to use the inspiration that I have should this not go well.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's a 13, and he has performance +3, making a 16.
Look, the tone of the song carries through this space, and you can see the frustration on some of the faces as they begin to realize what you're doing, and the smirks and the looks of sort of God, I can't think of the word. Just the looks of almost like, oh, I'm enjoying your suffering so much, turn to ones of almost anger. And the jostling continues, not enough to be like violent or anything, but you have certainly unsettled this court, which is specifically around suffering and sorrow, until you guys find yourselves at the exit.
Okay, are we looking to exit within 60 seconds?
Oh, it takes you like 5 to 10 minutes to get out of this place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you have cast it if the set minute would have run out?
Look, between conversations and stuff, like a minute is not long at all. So the minute for something like Revivify is well and truly past.
Right. Yeah.
But you emerge through the exit onto the streets, where it is cold and wet.
Yep.
And the crowd that is waiting to enter, you can see looks of surprise on the faces that you can see, because pretty much everybody here is wearing, a lot of the people are wearing masks.
Okay. Grumpfel will continue singing.
Yep. So now that you are outside with the body of your dead companion in your arms, what is the plan for the party?
Okay. Right. We need to get him to the Temple of Kamateon immediately. And like the look in Grumpfel's eye it looks like he's not in the mood to argue.
How far is that?
It's about 10 minutes away? 5 minutes away?
It's further away than that.
Further than that? Okay.
Yeah. It's not huge. It's like maybe 15, 20 minutes. Something like that. Yeah.
I guess we hustle in that direction
then. So the whole party's heading in that direction?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you guys are all short, except for B and myself.
Okay.
To be carrying.
I feel like between you and I, we could just carry Delgrim. We don't need the other. I feel like even one of us just could.
Yeah. Look, he's a solid unit, and with all of his gear and stuff, look, it would not be easy. The two of you together, not a problem. One of you by yourself.
Okay. Well, I'll just say, Grumpfel, you just focus on getting us there. Me and Tiernan can carry him.
Okay. Right.
So hang on. Does someone need to stick around for Tiernan? Maybe you should stay here for your mum to come out.
Yes.
she covered?
Yes. Absolutely.
No, she was grabbing her stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
she
yes,
she had walked off to get her stuff, and you guys had booked it.
I thought
all right.
I thought she had joined us. Sorry.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Tiernan wouldn't have left if she hadn't joined us.
And
So we'll leave Tiernan here, and the rest of us can go.
I would still be in the court. I wouldn't leave without my mother.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you guys get to the exit. Tiernan, you wait there to see your mother while the rest of you guys are now heading off for the temple. Is that right?
Whoever wants to remain for Tiernan, like if need be, Grumpfels have gone into sort of not strategy mode, but if others are leaving, and he'll be looking around for someone with like a cart or something that we could put Delgrim in and wheel him rather than drag him if someone's going to stay with him.
We can get I can try and carry him.
Does someone want to remain with Tiernan?
Miera, can you just carry his equipment and I'll just carry him?
Yep, I can carry.
Between the three of you, you would be able to easily carry him with his gear.
Excellent.
Tiernan's fine. He shouldn't have any problems.
Leaving Tiernan behind. So
can we message him and just tell him where we're going?
I'm assuming
he would have been in that conversation. Yeah.
No.
Okay,
it's
great.
obvious. It's obvious where you're going.
Excellent.
I just got this image of us dragging him along the cobblestones and his head bouncing.
There will be no dragging. There will be absolutely no dragging.
Bring out your dad.
Okay. You will head towards the Temple of Life and Loss. Tiernan.
We're focusing on the life part.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Tiernan. A couple of minutes later, you see Bluebell, or your mother, arrive. She's carrying a small pack, not very big at all, and what appears to be like a bundle of clothes and stuff. And she's just making a beeline for the exit.
I will join her in step.
Doesn't even click that you're there.
I'll join her in step and walk beside her.
Cool. The two of you exit out onto the rainy street. And as you emerge beside her, you hear a tangible as she just stops. And she looks around, very confused. Then she sees you and she goes, Tiernan? What are you doing here? Why? What are you doing here?
I'm just going to run into her arms, embrace her, and just start tearing up, crying on her shoulder.
She drops all of her stuff and just gives you the biggest hug, and you just get that flood of memories from as a child. All of the good times that you have spent with your mother, all of the happiness that you remember from your whole family unit just comes flooding back. You've been away from your home for some time now, and you've had no parents for even longer. And finally, you now hold your mother, who after the longest hug, kind of holds you forward, sort of pushes you away a bit, and still tears streaming down her face. She says, but I am so confused about what's going on, Tiernan. I hardly even remember what's going on. Why are you even in this part of the world? You should be back on the city.
I just hold up the ring.
But what about your sister? I mean, I know that I gave you the ring and I know what I told you about it, but you are... I'm just so confused. Can we... And then she sort of looks up and she sort of clocks that it's raining and she goes, can we maybe get somewhere that's a little bit drier than just standing out in the rain, Tiernan?
Yeah, we've got a room. But Mum, it's been years.
Years?
Years.
What, we? What, did you bring your sister with you?
Oh, God, no. I wouldn't let her out of the workshop.
Did you bring more people from the city?
No.
How long? Okay. Let's go to this room, and I think there's an awful lot that we need to catch up on. And she picks up all of her gear.
We need to go see if the others all right. My friend made a stupid deal with the leader of the Fae Corp that you were trapped in, and now he's dead. To get you out, and he didn't even succeed. So they're rushing him to the temple. We need to check on them first.
And just confusion as she just takes your hand and basically like lets you lead her off after your companions, who we find now making their way rapidly through the streets and entering into the Temple of Life and Loss. Grumpfel in the lead. Grumpfel, you can see Callistra's off to one side, tending to one of the small shrines or something of that nature.
Yes, Grumpfel literally makes heads towards her, briefly glancing over his shoulder to make sure the others are following.
She hears the noise. There's a few gasps from some of the other people who we hear, and she turns around and her eyes widen as she runs over.
Grumpfel grabs his holy symbol of Kamateon and bows briefly, but tries to be reverent. It's not as low as he'd like. My dear good Callista, I did not think that I would be calling on you to the offer you made of assistance so quickly after we last spoke. May I implore you to help us?
She looks at Delgrim and looks at you and says, "Quick, just get him into the pool. Get him into the pool." And she's basically directs Miera and B. Just gently lower him in the waters. Keep his head above the surface slightly.
Take your shoes off if you can.
Grumpfel, how long has your friend been deceased for?
One half of a turn of the clock. 30 minutes or so. When it happened, I would not have been able to help him myself where we were.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, I'll need to collect some things. Grumpfel, it's very rare that we have to perform any kinds of magics of this power here. Do you... I almost feel rude having to ask, have you got the required components for a spell? I need a diamond. I need a diamond for this type of magic.
I do, but I do not know if it's... I know if it's worth, but I don't know if it is... whether its worth is satisfactory for what is required beyond my power.
she says, we'll work with what we've got, and we'll just, time is of the essence. She runs off to another room as the rest of you take your time to sort of arrange Delgrim in the water.
Grumpfel will take his shoes off and put them, and he will take Delgrim's shoes off and put them to the side, and then anything that's extraneous in the way of packs or whatever like that he's got on, he will get rid of. I'm assuming we're garbed in the Fey Court stuff. He will then just get the tabard that he normally wears and make sure that's on.
Yep, cool. Awesome.
Because I've just realised that we would have come straight from the Fey Court, so not dressed for the temple, hence a lot of the gasping. But he will at least try to dress as appropriately as he can, given where he is.
Awesome. So, a few minutes later, Callista emerges with a collection of items, and it's about that time, Tiernan, you would arrive with your mother in tow, and you would see the others with Delgrim in the water. Who's actually like holding up Delgrim's head in this respect?
I think I was carrying him. I would lower him, and if anyone, if Miera or Grumpfel, having known him longer, would like to step in, B would allow. Otherwise, she will do it.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Miera will hold Delgrim's head, and also ask of anyone in the room, is there anything else I can do to help?
Do you have a diamond, Grumpfel?
I do. Callista will be back very shortly. Join us here in the pool. Remove your shoes if you can, and if you have time. And he'll give if B looks like she's going to move away because we're in the pool of water with Grumpfel.
Out, but just out of the way of you all.
Grumpfel will just gently grab you by the elbow and say, please stay with us.
And okay. Callista echoes that. She's, no, you all need to. The more of his friends and companions that are here, the greater the chances of being able to call his soul back. Now, just give me just a little bit more space. And she starts around the edge of the pool, just on the side where you guys are. She starts lighting some incense, pulls out what appears to be some ointments and the like, and starts to paint small glyphs on Delgrim's forehead. Then turns to you, Grumpfel, and says, just the diamond, please, Grumpfel.
Yes, and he has that ready.
She takes that from you and she places it on his chest. And she takes a deep breath and she starts to begin muttering some arcane words. And as she does, you notice that two of the snakes that were in this tree wind their way down and actually into the pool, one black, one white. And they begin to wind themselves around Delgrim's body.
If you require anything of me, you only need ask. And the look in his eyes when he says that to Callista, she can see that there's genuine, no holds barred, no reservations.
So she finishes her incanting for a moment.
Oh yeah, sorry. When she finishes,
and then, yeah. No, I get that. You're all good.
Excuse me.
And then she says, she turns to the group and says, I need each of you to provide a reason for Delgrim to come back. And you'd each come put your hand on the diamond, give a reason for why you need Delgrim to come back. And she takes a step back and just looks at the group.
Tiernan walks over, and you all notice now that underneath his cloak, it's glowing immensely bright blue. He hasn't actually reattached his shard pistol mechanism. Are we allowed in the water?
Yeah.
He walks into the water and he channels the arcane power through the pistol that has been building up this entire time. Puts his hand on on Delgrim's chest and simply says, "Because I don't have that many friends. And what kind of idiot throws their life away for someone else's friend?"
Can you please roll a d20? Actually, make a persuasion roll for me.
Oh. That's with advantage because I got thing still running. Do I still have that running?
Sure. Sure.
So that's a 21.
Cool. You feel the energy from the shard coursing through you, and just are you trying to sort of push that energy into Delgrim? Like, what are you trying to do with that, I suppose? Are you trying to use that energy in any respect, or
to sort of restart the heart?
Yeah, okay.
Going it from a more biological side of things.
Okay. So you let the energy course into his body, and you all see Delgrim just glow this deep blue for a moment before Tiernan stands away.
That will burn up all my spell slots, by the way.
Okay. Who's next?
Miera will go next, and she'll put her hands on Delgrim's temples, obviously because she's holding his head up anyway, and just say, you know the darkness that is in me, and I feel like you're probably one of the only people that can help steer me in the right direction. And also, like, fireworks won't ever be as good if you're not here. Sure.
Yeah, make a persuasion roll for me as well.
21.
21. Outstanding. Who's next?
I'm gonna let Grumpfel go last because I think that's fair. I think what B would say is very simple, and it's
I'm still pissed at you.
no. It's because it can't all be for nothing, and for them. Just looking at the rest of the group.
Okay. You also make your persuasion roll.
Mm-hmm. 19.
Okay. You watch as the magic, the arcane energy from the shard that Tiernan released, the glow seems to just be lingering longer than potentially you would have actually expected Tiernan, as both Miera and B make their pleas, leaving just Grumpfel at the end.
The hallowed halls of the gentle dark would be honored to have a soul such as this, but I call upon that soul to return to its brethren, not by blood but by bond, because we need you here, and we need you more than you know. In Svazina we say, Renish, Renish, Procornish, which means here I am, here I stand. And there's no one I would rather stand next to and call brother than Delgrim, my deep kin. And he's just going to step forward and kiss Delgrim directly on the forehead.
Okay. As you say that, Grumpfel, you can feel in your pack the book. It's almost like you can feel it moving.
Yep. Grumpfel will retrieve it.
Mm-hmm. It's warm to the touch.
Do I need to open it, or does it seem to open as soon as as soon as Grumpfel takes it out of the pack? Does he need to open it, or does it almost spring open?
It's just it's almost like it's trembling in his hands.
Does it feel like he needs to open it, or just the book needs a hug? It just needs to be held.
It's hard to tell. All you know is that it's trembling. It's warm. It's like there's some kind of potential energy or something that is coursing through it at this point in time.
Then Grumpfel will open it and let whichever page fall open as it may.
You open the book, and it opens to a story towards the front of it, which you've read a few times now, which talks about family, and it talks about how family can be blood, but family can also be found. And as it opens up, it almost like it gets drawn down onto Delgrim's body. And I would like you to roll your persuasion check with advantage, please.
Seven and 19. So hang on. Would you say persuasion?
Yeah.
No mod. So 19.
The diamond floats up in front of all of you and just starts to spin as the book. You can see what appears to be almost like electrical energy begin to course off it into Delgrim's body. The diamond then just disintegrates into this shower of almost like stars, which spread across Delgrim's body. And with an almighty gasp, your Jurigar friend lurches up as the life courses back into his body. But as his eyes flicker open, you all see nothing. There are no eyes there anymore. There are two deep black voids of nothing. Promethean, if you're lurking, you can return to the table. Oh my god, he's gone.
Look, he's busy crying.
Delgrim, the last thing you remember was those thoughts that you had. And then there was something else. And suddenly you feel the life course back through you, and a memory, a thought, a dream begins to sort of fade. You know how when you wake up and you're like, I think I can remember this dream, and you struggle to catch the threads of what it might have been. And you find yourself in a pool of water with your friends around you. But as your eyes open, you see nothing. But it is like every single other sense within you has been heightened. If you go to your character sheet, Promethean, you will see under the feats section something new there.
Oh, interesting. Let me do exactly that.
But you can absolutely 100% sense all of your friends around you. It was like you're used to operating in the darkness. In fact, you were so honed to that when things were so close to you, you could essentially see them. But it's like even that sense has now been heightened. And your friends are all around you as life courses back through your body again.
Where am I? Where is she?
You stupid idiot.
Tiernan, I am so sorry. Why can't I see anything? And he'll reach out. It will like literally touch each of you then gathered around him. And
You have hibernation sickness. Your eyesight will return. Sorry. I couldn't help myself.
fucking give Heath another fucking round of inspiration.
Why did my eyes hurt?
I'm sorry, I couldn't. It's like my own internal monologue was like, don't. I'm like, I can't do it.
I cannot see, but I can feel, and where am I?
The temple of Kamateon.
And Tiernan, I am so sorry. I did not know. I thought that I thought she would. I thought she would let her go. I'm Tiernan. I don't know what to tell you. I failed. I am so sorry.
This is why I kept asking about the details. It's all right. Miera got her out.
She's out.
Yeah, once again cleaning up your messes.
Yeah.
Quick-witted, by the way, there, Miera. My idea was suicidally tragic, so I'm glad you came up with a better one. Thank you.
You're welcome. We weren't ever going to argue our way out of that.
I wasn't going to argue. I was going to scare her.
You don't think someone like that scares easily?
I know.
Oh, I will find a way.
I think maybe you've done enough. And maybe also a lesson for a few of us here. And she'll shoot a look over at B.
Let's let's save this conversation for another time. I think we owe Callista our thanks.
Yes.
And he'll turn to her and like just embrace her and despite the height difference, sort of,
Hugs the knees.
yeah.
She would actually just kneel down in the water with you and give you a hug, but also be like, okay, now I'm glad this has worked, but also please,
Yes,
this is an incredibly taxing experience for someone to go through. Your friend here is going to need some time to rest and to recover, so please, just give him some space. He'll need keep his fluids up, some food, a good rest for a couple of days.
Does he need to stay in this radiant pool for a while, or shall we remove ourselves to the private antechamber for a moment or two?
Look,
I fear that yes, he would be drained, and I dare say we all are, including yourself. Perhaps a quiet corner for a pause or two.
We've got a small room with a not terribly comfortable bed off in the corner there. Like, you're more than welcome to use that. I mean, Delgrim, can you stand up, sir?
I will try, and he does attempt to stand. And I think, hang on.
What's wrong with
I feel like dying is going to take it out of you, right? So I'm going to roll a d4 real quick. Delgrim has 4 levels of exhaustion currently. I think
isn't there only 3? He's got 4.
Yeah. And he does.
What's wrong with his eyes, Grumpfel?
I don't know. Let us get to the antechamber so that he may lay down a moment. Let's all questions in good time, and answers as well.
Sorry, Grumpfel, before we get going, can I give Delgrim a cookie, please?
And he kind of looks at Callista.
I mean, well, food now would always probably be a very good idea.
I will hand Delgrim a cassia cookie, which cures all levels of exhaustion.
Fucking standing.
Excellent.
I get this image of Delgrim doing the Popeye sort of.
Miera, a cookie for every occasion.
Right?
So you help your friend off to the small antechamber where there is a fairly uncomfortable small wooden bed. There's like one chair in the room. And as you make your way, Callista sort of directs you, but then backs off to give the group its space. But Tiernan, you can sort of see your mother sort of trailing along, looking incredibly confused, still sort of holding her gear, sort of slightly wet and bedraggled from walking here in the rain.
I will explain everything, Mum. I promise. We had to get him to the temple quick.
Delgrim, as you're being led here, you feel your senses sharpen more and more, and you realize that whilst you can't see anymore, you absolutely know where everything is around you. Every single other sense is 100% heightened. An individual walks past that you've never seen before, but you can tell exactly what they look like, every feature, every element of them.
Yeah.
Even though you don't see them with your eyes.
How's he gonna roll D10s?
It is the strangest. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. It is the strangest experience. But you find yourselves all in this little antechamber. And for those of you who maybe looked into where Delgrim's eyes were a little bit before, I'll have you roll perception checks for me. So probably Maybe Miera and B were maybe the closest, or anyone who wants to roll, go for it.
Come on, guys. What are you doing?
0.
On
What are we rolling again? Sorry.
perception.
Right, dirty 20.
Be with me for just a sec. I gotta let a cat out. Just not a
That a euphemism?
That's
Is that a euphemism?
Wow.
Here's us DMs, but
Bro to a break
Yeah.
for a second. Jesus.
Give filthy animals. So what did you guys roll?
0.
0?
18.
Dirty 20.
19.
Cool. All right. So everyone except for Tiernan. You would have all noticed that in the dark voids of where Delgrim's eyes were, as you sort of took a moment to sort of stare into that space, you would have seen the twinkling of stars. You realize it was like looking into a night sky. But you are now all in this small antechamber. Around your no longer exhausted friend Delgrim. As you eat this cookie, it is quite possibly the best thing you have ever eaten that didn't come from a spider in your life.
And he will be immediately appreciative of that. Miera, this is amazing. I cannot tell you. Truly incredible. Thank you. I think the next person to see the inky black starlit void that Delgrim's eyes have become is actually going to be Tiernan's mother, who he'll turn to. I am very glad that you were able to leave that place. And I hope that you cherish the time that you have with your son.
Oh, I've been terribly rude. Everyone, this is my mother, Kian Depelan, who has been missing for years, I might add.
And I would like to add, is now very, very confused still, because I've got no idea what's going on, or who any of you are, or why you, sir, are saying that you're glad that I'm here, and why my son is here, and all this talk of being gone for years. I'm so incredibly confused.
These are
Welcome
my
to the club.
These are my traveling companions, Mum. You were stuck. We're in Wyldeport. Do you remember that far back?
I do. I remember coming to Wyldeport. I don't remember a lot from when I was here.
You
But
entered one of the Fey courts and got stuck for some reason or another.
Look, I honestly, I remember coming here from Canterwell, trying to follow up on where your father had gone, but beyond that, there's just flashes, vague memories, feelings. Honestly, that's all I can recall.
Well,
I don't know if
we won't go over it now. We'll see how Delgrim's feeling and getting his feet underneath him, and maybe retire back to the inn and before we.
no, that's fine. But look, I'm happy to just take a moment to actually try and just sort of analyze the situation and understand what's going on. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces here. I need to make sure that I've got all the sort of the information, the data that I need to make an appropriate assessment of how everything works here. So I'm happy to just sit back for the moment, Tiernan.
You are definitely Tiernan's mother, it would seem.
Right, and sorry, how long have you known my son for? I mean,
Months? I think it's
It feels like we've known him for years.
well played.
I think Delgrim will turn and there'll be like a little tear in his eye. It's long enough to call him the friend.
Well, I mean,
Oh, sorry, a little tear in the void that you see in his eye.
yeah.
And Tiernan will go through and just introduce each one of you by name and last name as well. Because he hasn't done it yet.
Go on, do it.
With that, what is the next steps for our heroes moving forward?
I do just really quickly want to address, because Cass Miera did ask me a question, and I don't want it to come off like that was just dismissed.
No, that's fine. I possibly missed it. So no,
no, it's all good. It's all good. It wouldn't have been appropriate to address it then anyway. But like, I think B would have kind of stayed nearby Miera after, as this kind of all unfolds, and she would say at some point, I'm not really hiding too much, but if there's things you want to know, you can just ask.
Sometimes it's difficult to know what to ask, but if you think you have information that could potentially help us as a group, or let us know when things like are going bad, or if someone has made a silly decision that could potentially affect all of us, I just wonder if it's better to share that freely.
I understand, but I made a promise, and I don't break my promises.
He should never have made you promise to keep something like that.
To be fair, there was an interesting conversation that came before that, which we can talk about at a later time.
Okay.
But also in the spirit of not keeping secrets. Tiernan, just in case you didn't know, I studied at the Arcane Consortium, and it was a really interesting time. Sorry that I kept that from you.
Okay. Well,
I just thought you might act weird about it. I got vibes from the rest of the party that you might be a little strange about it.
Oh. Don't know why. Okay. Well, that'll come in handy when we go to the Empire then, won't it?
Oh no, it won't. We can't go back there. Like, we can go to the Empire, but we'll have to be really hidden. Or I will. Not supposed to leave the Arcane Consortium, and I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sort of like how I left when he just eyes over at Mum. Nowhere.
She, you can see she's starting to kind of come around to it, and she gives you a bit of the mum look. There's some conversations to be had, Tiernan.
Yeah, there are.
Yes, there are.
Get him like 4 drinks or something. He really loosens up around the 5th.
Miera, don't tell my mum that.
Oh no, my son doesn't drink.
She's like, Tiernan, drinking. Oh, no, I don't. Well,
Hot chocolate, of course. What were you thinking?
Well, I mean, based on the statement that you made, I mean, you're implying that he's drinking alcohol, which would potentially inhibit his ability to be actually able to focus on a situation. So,
if you've had a good hot chocolate, it really loosens you up and it makes you kind
Wait,
of
I
like...
thought we weren't lying
crazy.
anymore.
I mean, I drank. I used to drink at the Shard Full of Cogs all the time with my mates.
yes, but I mean, it wasn't really like a lot, to be fair, Tiernan. I mean, and from what I did see and what I heard, because to be fair,
Why are we having a conversation
he's
about this in a
lush.
temple?
He's
mother hears a lot, Tiernan, that you know, and she smirks slightly. She goes, not a great drinker, but I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, with his constitution and everything, he's more of an intellect more than a physical specimen, so I can understand why alcohol would tend to impair his abilities, without necessarily imbibing too much of it. So it makes perfect sense to me.
Oh, by the way, Mum, this is Blinky, and it's literally basketball passes Blinky into her arms. She hasn't met him yet.
This is a beautiful moment, and I hesitate to interrupt it, but Grumpfel, do you have the moon?
The witch?
The moon.
Just kidding. Yes, I do.
Excellent.
I do. I was focused only on two things when this happened in the court, was that part of the bargain and getting you away from her.
I appreciate this. What do you say we go get ourselves a ship and go save the fucking world?
I say that a lot has happened, and I think we need just a pause or two, friends. I think we need a bit
pause
of...
not in this city though. That I would prefer to pause not here.
I would love to nothing more than to get away from this place.
I would think that yes, absolutely. But I think a small pause, because I think that I still need to give thanks. And now, did Callista come with us, or we're
No,
in
she's
I absolutely need to give thanks to our host, and I think I need at least an hour of solitude within these walls to give my thanks to Kamatown. I think it would be disrespectful for us to depart immediately. But not to keep. And I know everyone's anxious and glad of the turn of events, and he turns to Tiernan's mum and Lady de Palan. We are glad of your rescue and company, but I think we need to understand what's happened has a cost, and even if it is just reverence and commune, then it should be paid to balance the work done.
Grumpfel, is solitude a requirement of you giving thanks, or would you accept a brother at your side?
Solitude is not required, but the heartfelt is good.
Then please allow me to join you. I too feel the need to give thanks.
And Kian will sort of, while you two are talking, will walk up beside you, Tiernan, and I'll just quietly say, I think we need to have a conversation as well, because you're talking about catching a ship and leaving, and like, I need to understand what it is that you and your friends are doing, and also what is the plans for you and for myself. What are we trying to accomplish? You're still looking for your father? What are we going to be doing? We can't just run off without analyzing the situation, Tiernan.
Oh, yeah. There is a lot to cover.
Yes, there is, and we need to cover it together. And also, I'm concerned about how long you've also been here for, because, I mean, you haven't seen any signing of any of the collectors, have you? Oh, actually. And she quickly glances at the rest of the group. She said, maybe that's something we need to talk about more in private.
Do I know who the collectors are?
You have no idea what she's talking about. So, with that, my understanding now is that Grumpfel and Delgrim are going to spend some time here at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
What is the rest of the party planning on doing? I'm assuming heading back to the inn to basically rest for the rest of the day. Is this sort of what's the go? What's the plan?
Well, Tiernan's definitely going to take his mother to the inn, because don't know about the rest of you. Tiernan's bloody exhausted, even though he's only just woken up. And we'll be doing a bit of a debrief of his mum.
Okay. What about B and Miera?
What you want to do?
Could we maybe, I don't know, could we maybe go and see if we can find the dude with the boat and get that side of things organized?
Yeah, I'd be down.
Okay. So let's do that. So firstly, Grumpfel, Delgrim, was there anything specifically you wanted to play out in regards to paying your respects?
All it would be either in the room that we're in or out by the tree. And if it's just Grumpfel and Delgrim, the others have moved off now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So if it's in the room and we're just there, and we don't have to go through this. It's just sort of a thing. Grumpfel is going to show Delgrim the tome and open it to show part of what's in there.
So
if the book will allow me,
the book will. Delgrim, for you, there's the content of the book, like you can see it and you can see sort of the parable that it's talking about. But there's something else. You feel like some kind of connection to the book. Maybe not necessarily the topic, but there's something about this book that feels familiar. And as you look at it, for the briefest of moments, your mind flashes back to a very, very, very old Swerfneblin that you encountered when you were leaving the Gloomrot.
Mm-hmm.
And then through the haze of everything that has just occurred to you, you kind of think that you maybe met him again recently.
Excellent. I think it'll just add an additional kind of layer of reverence to Delgrim's handling of this book. So he's not by any means a religious dude at all. He is not particularly interested.
But Grumpfel's not trying to convert him. He's trying to find a connection.
Grumpfel, I think, would notice that is from kind of the beginning of this process. Is Delgrim is far more patient than he would be with this process typically, and respectful of Grumpfel's reverence of where they are and what they're doing. And I think kind of with that vibe off the book itself, it would add just an odd additional layer to that approach to their time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. We will head over to Miera and B, who, having, I'm assuming, collected the moon from Grumpfel.
And been given a description of Gil.
Yep. Or because I think people have maybe missed a few things. Her name was Gilly.
Or
Gilly Glittervale.
There you go. There it is.
That's the one.
Someone knows.
Yes. You're correct. You passed the test.
That's all.
You guys enter back into the court. This time, however, you enter into the Hymn of Wine, the hedonistic side of the Fey courts. Very, very different to the Melody of Stars. You make your way through the bodies and the shapes and the smells and the scents of this place. It is an assault on the senses in many respects, but in the best possible way.
Yeah, but why does it have to be so sticky?
I ask myself that in multiple scenarios sometimes, but this is just another one of those, I guess.
You both so very, very much.
No, you don't. You love us.
Yeah, maybe. You finally find this individual, Gilly. You find her amongst this huge heap of pillows, fast asleep. One arm around a very handsome satyr, and the other arm around another very handsome satyr. All three of them in this little people pile of sleep.
They have a type.
She is probably a little less dressed than one might anticipate. Not butt naked, but obviously they've fallen asleep after some kind of shenanigans as you guys approach.
Miera will
kind of
clear her
awkward.
throat.
Well, it's just nothing.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Miera's going to use her toes to kind of prod.
There's there's kind of like and pulls these two satyrs in a little bit closer, and they kind of snuggle in a little bit more.
Sometimes I've seen this work before. Can I reach Gilly's nose?
You can kind of climb over. Yeah, sure.
I just want to pinch her nose closed.
You pinch your nose close, and there's like that sort of the briefest moment as you sort
She
of
just suffocates and
hold the
dies.
the green skin of. And the thing that you notice now is that it's obvious that Gilly is the same type of fae that Callista is. You hold her nose for the briefest of moments. And she just looks at you, Miera, and her rubs her eyes. Goes, hi there. You're
Sorry
quite.
to
You
disturb
want to
you.
join in?
Well, I don't really
I'm
have
rolling a
time.
D10.
What was that? What did you say,
Excellent.
Miera?
I don't really have time.
Oh,
But it seems like you're having fun.
I was having the best fun ever. I was truly just. Whew. Anyway, you came and pinched my nose. I'm just wanting to know why. If
Well,
you're not here to have some fun, what are you after? My head. It's a bit sore.
Sorry to wake you up like that. I did try at night, like to be more gentle, but it wasn't working. Do you remember Delgrim Harrowfell? Dwergar?
Delgrim Harrowfell. Oh right, he came along with that little the really old Swerve Neblin, and they were like, oh, we need a boat, and I was like, oh, go and get me the moon, and then they left, and that was all I ever saw of them. I thought
That's them.
Yeah.
So we have the moon.
Look, and she sits upwards like rapidly and sort of pulls rearranges. I'm sorry. Did you say you actually have the moon?
Yep. That's
Fuck off. You do not. No one would be silly enough to go into the fucking Melody of Stars and get the moon. I just wanted them to go away. It was like a throwaway statement.
It's really awkward for you because we actually do have the moon. So I hope you're ready to drive a boat.
Well, I mean, look, to be fair, lass, one doesn't drive a boat, one sails a boat when you're the captain and you have a crew. But look, all of that's kind of irrelevant.
Which is why we actually need you, because if we knew how to operate a boat, we wouldn't need
Well,
you.
look, show me the fucking moon. You say you've got the moon. Show me the moon.
If I have it, do I have the moon or does B have it?
I would have let you take it. So, yeah.
Alright, Miera will hold out the moon.
You see, it's a cookie. No.
A moon cookie.
And then put it back in her pocket.
You see Gilly's eyes go wide and he goes, oh my fucking god. You and your friends actually went to the Valley of Stars. You stole the moon from Lacerania. Or you got the moon. I don't actually,
Yeah, sure.
don't tell me. No, I don't want to know. I really, honestly don't want to know how you got your hands on it. But you got the fucking moon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Look, the deal was for them to give me the moon, and I will be your captain. I will, for that, honestly, I didn't think you were going to pull it off. I will sail you any fucking where you want to go on this entire fucking planet.
Well,
I'll
can you
be your
make sure that
captain.
when we do that, though, there's some other things. If this is how excited you are about it, then I feel like you could have some wine waiting for us and like a charcuterie or some sort of a celebratory takeoff package, because we've
don't
been through a
know.
lot, okay?
We've got a long drop on the ship, so I don't need why we need a shittery or whatever it was that you called it. But
It's a cheese board.
a cheese board. Look.
You'll have
Lass,
crew.
do I have crew? You do not understand the captain and the ship that you have just got yourself with this moon. The Oakenholm is quite possibly the greatest ship that will sail any of these seas. Beyond the fact that we are the greatest crew you will ever encounter in your entire life.
Can I roll inside on that, please?
It is, 100%. You will also have more fun on our ship than is humanely or possibly even sensibly possible when one's sailing.
Can I roll inside on
I'm
that?
trying to.
please?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand whether like this is an actual thing or whether she's just gassing herself up.
Yep.
We haven't hired a party cruise, have we?
It's a 23.
She is 100%. As far as you can tell, she believes everything that's coming out of her mouth.
So she's not. There's no like, hey, I'm hamming this up a little bit. Get
No.
it? Because you're ham.
There is no ham involved.
I rolled a 21 on the fun.
Yep,
So-
no, again, same thing. She's just
Definitely fun.
like, this will be the greatest experience you've ever had getting on a boat and sailing anywhere. I mean, fuck, you guys were going to be sailing to the Empire, which, to be honest, is a really fucking stupid thing to do. But you brought me the moon, which, to be fair, you actually do need to hand over for the bargain to be completed.
Sure, I'll hand it over, but that's provided, like, you know, we can hand it over when we get to the docks, right? So you go and prepare stuff, because, I mean, you look kind of tied up right now.
No,
But
that
we
was
need-
earlier I was
we
tied
need
up.
some,
I'm
like,
not tied
quick-
up now.
We need a lot of quick things to happen, not so much, but like action.
Oh,
So
dearie.
we can
so
get
much
the moon
action
at
on
the
this boat.
docks.
It will be amazing. Look, you've got. Look, I'm a woman of my word. As soon as I get the moon, we will weigh anchor. We will go wherever the fuck you and your friends want to go. I'm happy to go and get the crew all prepared and organized. Get everything. We're already pretty much loaded up with stock, and we've got some kind of clever ways of dealing with some of that kind of stuff anyway. So, look, it's going to be truly like this is, oh my god. I don't think I've been like this is excited for a little journey for a while, even though, again, going north really is pretty fucking stupid. But
So what are you gonna do with the moon, though?
what am I going to do with the moon?
Yeah.
What does one normally do with the moon? When you put the moon in the sky and it gives you light on a dark night, like, that's what the moon's for. Plus, also, I mean, the bragging rights of being able to go, hey, look, you know, I now own the moon from the the Melody of Stars. It's all mine. So, you know what? Fuck everybody else who says that Gilly Glittervale is shitty.
It looks like you've already gotten a start on fucking everyone else.
Oh, look. I mean, dearie, swans got to have a little bit of fun, don't they?
Yeah.
Isn't that right, boys? And she just slaps one of the satyrs on the ass. She's like, look, life's short. You got to have some fun. I've had my frolicking here. We're going to go out on...
Oh, life isn't short. It's actually quite long.
Well, I mean, even the long life is kind of short in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, didn't you guys say that you were in a hurry or something like that?
Yep, we are.
All right, she stands up and she goes, right, who's seen my pants? And we will now veer off to Tiernan and his mother.
Then he goes, whose pants are these?
So Tiernan, you are back at the outside inn with your mother. As the rest of the party is off doing their respective bits and bobs.
Well, I wander on in and organize another room for dear mum. And then I also ask Grayson whether or not he sent that letter or not, and whether or not I could stop it.
He says that he's sent out some messages to try and find people who'll take it. He hasn't got any takers yet, so no, it hasn't gone anywhere as of yet.
Oh, okay. If that's the case, can I have the letter back, please?
He looks a bit quizzical, but he's like, sure. Here you go.
All right, and the moment I have it, I just burn it with a firebolt.
And kind of looks at it. Strange individual. Sure. Okay, cool. Anyway, here's a key to another room.
Thank you. And I show Mum to her room. And once in there, I'd say, look, don't quite... I know you're terribly confused, but the long story short is Killian didn't care that you were potentially in danger. He wasn't going to do anything at all. Wasn't going to send anybody to look for you. Didn't care that Dad hadn't come back to Cartharbal in years, or yourself. So I kind of just left. And I've been traipsing around continent, trying to find breadcrumbs of where Dad went, because the only location I knew was Canterwell, and unfortunately I got off at the wrong spot and landed up in the Rivenlands. That's on me. But fortunately I met a decent group of people willing to put up with my idiosyncrasies, and we've stumbled upon some odd occurrences with some arcane trying to come back to the world or something. That involves one of our party members. I met a dragon who was crystal, and we ended up in Wyldeport following some advice with the intention to go to the Empire, and we found you in the Melody of Stars completely accidentally, and you had lost all your memories, and you were going by the name of Bluebell.
I mean, it's a lot of information to take in there, Tiernan. I feel like your assessment of the situation is a little bit lacking. Like, I feel like more detail. There's extra pieces of data would help me to sort of string together some of the elements of what you're talking about here. But I think I get the gist. I mean, dear, you do need to sometimes focus on some of the finer details. But look, for the moment, I mean that's look. Killian may have acted like he doesn't care. But there are things about Cathar Baal, there are things about the Shard Protection Institute that you're not privy to.
He ransacked our workshop, Mum. Barged into Dad's office and emptied it of everything.
Yes, I'm not surprised. Your father was looking into something extremely dangerous. And that, I mean, if he had been caught with the materials, he would have been tried for treason.
What's the Farseeker Initiative?
She leans back. You don't know anything about it at all?
I know Dad was involved in it, attempting to resurrect it.
Yes.
And he was finding down some clues with radiant shadows at the highest peak.
You need to realize, Tina, that if I disclose anything to you about this, if you are caught by the collectors with this knowledge, you will be tried for treason as well, and you will be found guilty. This is nothing to trifle with. Your father made some bad choices. He was obsessed with trying to raise the Shard folk above the station that they had. He felt that they needed to play a bigger part in the world instead of just staying neutral and keeping their place. And the Farseeker Initiative was an element of that, but it was an experiment gone terribly, terribly wrong a long, long time ago. He had the gall to think that he could fix the elements of it that caused the disasters.
Why are you down here, Mum?
Why am I? I was looking for him, was trying to hunt him down. The collectors were going to be chasing him. I wanted to make sure he was okay. He was acting irrationally. I fear that he is making some terrible choices. I followed him to Canterwell, and this, within the Radiant Shadows, I can only assume that he's talking about the Koskatar Peaks. That's the last place I found any information about him. I tracked him there, hired some mercenaries, went down to the dead city underneath Versko. That's where we found some notes. There was obviously something there which he'd discovered. I fear that it might have been more information on the initiative. But then he headed north. That's why I ended up here in Wyldeport, but beyond that, I mean, all of my notes, I mean, I've gone through this bag that I've got now. It doesn't have half of the information I used to have. God knows where that is now, if it's been years since I've been in that place. I've got scraps of information which I can give you, which might give clues to where he's gone to in the north, but I mean, you need to realize that if you have left Cathar Baal, especially considering both what I and your father have done in regards to leaving as well, they will be hunting you down.
You'll have to find me first.
I just don't be so blasé about this, Tiernan. This is the Farseeker Initiative. I mean, I would never talk about this in front of your friends. There is absolutely no way they should know anything about this. You will be tried for treason. If the collectors find out that your friends know about the Farseeker Initiative, they will be killed. It's as simple as that.
Well, they don't know anything about it, because I don't even know anything about it.
Maybe that's the way it should stay. Maybe I need to travel north with you and then go and try and find your father.
on earth is he doing in the Empire? See anything to the north?
He's chasing clues. And she pulls out a notebook. And she goes, I've got. Look, these are the notes that I've got. I mean, as far as I'm aware, the information for the initiative was scattered across the entire continent. There were clues in regards to certain locations. I never went to Wasp, but I'm convinced that he wouldn't have ventured into the underhives there. It would have been far too dangerous. But to the north, there was talks about something about the depths of Varn within a cradle of stone and dark water. And she flicks through a notebook, something about glass and fire, cinder and brass. And she says, look, I mean, you're heading north. Maybe you need to try and find him. I'm concerned that he is doing something stupid. Maybe the way to go, Tiernan, would be you take these notes and go north. I can try and distract anyone who's following you. I will have fallen off the map for all intents and purposes because it's been so long since I've been here. The collectors have probably been and gone from Wyldeport. But they will be tracking you, and maybe I can act as a distraction. I can head back south again, maybe head in the opposite. Maybe go west through the forests.
That's where
this dragon that you talked about. I mean, like, have you I don't know, maybe there's some friends or some allies that you've made that...
You need to go home, Mum.
I can't go home, Tina. If I go home, I will be tried for treason. It's as simple as that. I know too much. No one should know anything about the initiative. The fact that you even know it exists puts you at danger. And I know more than that. That's why I'm not telling you. The less you know, the less trouble you can get in.
I think some people were asking about me when we were in Dalian's Rest. You can't go west. I believe I lost their trail when I disguised myself and left.
Well, I mean, maybe I go south then. Maybe I catch a ship from here, go south again.
What are you going to do, Mum?
I said I can act as a distraction.
You just
maybe there's other things that I can. Maybe I can find out more about your father. Maybe I can go and see if things have changed around Waspwood. Maybe there's something in the underhives there. I mean, it would be risky, but I mean, if your father has all of the information required to try and restart the initiative, it could be putting the entire continent in danger.
Well, I promised to go north anyway, so I'll take the notes and see if I can find Dad, but are any of us going to be able to go home at some stage? Or we're all just branded traitors because of chasing old Dad down with his pie-in-the-sky dream?
Honestly, I don't know. Partly that will depend on your brother. But I mean, the laws are very, very strict around this. They don't just send collectors after anybody.
Will I ever go see you again?
And she gives you a small smile. She says, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I'm sure... I mean, now that I'm out of that place, I can probably look at whipping up some kind of device to be able to keep in touch with you more easily. I'm sure that, I'm smart, you're smart, although she just kind of gives you a small sort of nudge with her shoulder. Maybe still lacking a little common sense at times, Tiernan, but you've got some decent seeming friends here. And look, if you need me, all you need to do is send me a message and I will move heaven and earth to come and find you.
Okay. So what am I gonna? What am I gonna do if I find Dad?
Find out what he's doing. Find out why he's doing it. I have my suspicions. Again, like I said, it's his whole, the shard folk taking their rightful place amongst the people of Beldorn. I kind of understand where he's coming from in some respects, but also, going down this route of trying to restart the Far Secret Initiative is just, there's so much risk involved in that. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could be even worse.
All right. Well, I'll find Dad and I'll see if I can convince him to stop.
Well, you found me, Tiernan, so...
Yeah, but to be fair, it was more of an accident.
Look...
And someone died.
True. And look, that's certainly a suboptimal approach to a situation like this, and maybe you need to, do a little bit of a retrospective on how you've approached the situation and see what lessons that you can learn. But lessons have been learned.
Yeah, no.
Rely on your friends.
Don't let the Delgrim talk.
Don't let this look, that's what's required. That's what's required. But anyway, let's go through this notebook. And she opens it up beside you, and she'll start showing you through the notes. Very quickly, I'll touch on the key parts on those.
You're going to have to give me a printed copy of
I will give them out. But literally, they talk about something about the depths of Vand within a cradle of mighty stone and dark water. References to the old shell of Golgatha, a place or a person that might hold information that could help. Something about glass and fire, cinder and brass. Questions around the Sephora, who may be able to help with this, the glass and fire, cinder and brass, but they're not sure what the Sephora is. Something about an old scroll that was found amongst some ancient ruins in the Orashia jungle that referenced something called the God Engine. It suggested that this was something that existed way before the Great Contravention and involved someone called the Mechanist. There's not a lot of information about it, although it does reference a location of a village called Callthu. And the last note talks about the fact that there might be clues around any sort of shardfolk movement in the Empire at any stage in the Kalisarian archives. The challenge with those archives is that it is said that they change location every 3 days. And so tracking its whereabouts is incredibly difficult. However, the advantage is that it is actually not controlled or affiliated with the Empire at all. So, as you ponder upon those things, the rest of the party would all eventually get back to the tavern. We will skip forward ever so slightly to the evening meal, as you were all sitting around in the common room, and it's a little bit quieter on this evening, enjoying a quiet, peaceful meal for once. The door swings open, and a cloaked figure enters, walks up to the table, and with a little bit of a flourish, pulls back their hood, and it's Aloysius. and goes, "Hello, friends. How are we doing? It's good to see you all here. It's good to see everyone's in one piece and alive."
Almost one piece.
Well, sorry, what was that, Cass?
I said they're almost in one piece.
Well, look, it's...
We're not on the boat yet.
You're not on the boat yet, no. Look, it's close enough. It's close enough. Look, very brief. And looks at you, Delgrim.
Who has not said a word on his entry and will be sitting cross-armed, just eye-rolling at every moment of Alicia's existence.
With what eyes, Delgrim?
Great fucking point. you see the stars just like spin up.
Can we get a couple of pebbles and just put eyes on them and put in there, but deliberately put them cockeyed?
But does that make Aloysius unnerved?
Yeah.
He does, actually. He goes, "Oh, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Look, have a private conversation with everyone. I've been doing a little bit of thinking about what you said the last time we met, and reflecting on some of my behaviors, and I think I don't necessarily owe you an apology, but I think I do owe you something. I mean, I don't really want to talk about it here in the middle of this little common room. Maybe a little sidebar up in someone's room? Everyone's invited, of course. This is a private conversation. Well, I mean, it's private for us, but you know what I mean.
You're welcome to use my room.
Excellent. All right, where is it? And he'll wait for you to lead the way.
Mum, this is Aloysius. He framed us for a terrorist attack in a theatre, killing thousands of hundreds of people, and then just left.
Miera will call over her shoulder as she's leaving. Lies. Not entirely true.
I wasn't there.
And it caused a civil war, I think.
And she's just like, let's talk about this afterwards. Is everybody going to go upstairs?
Yes, invested in Miera's safety, if for no other reason.
I don't trust Aloysius at all. So yes.
All right, you guys all pile upstairs. He just like sits down and almost like kind of lies back on the bed, sort of back against the wall, legs out. All right. So like I said, been doing a little bit of self-reflection. I realized that maybe I haven't been entirely fair in regards to how maybe helpful I've been. I've been a bit dismissive of what you've been wanting. So I thought, despite the fact it goes against some of my best interests, and to be frank, Lord Esselway would probably be supremely pissed at me. Can give you a little bit of information about what's going on up at the north, or at least maybe a few little clues. I know that Saracen was very he's very reluctant to give anybody information about like which of the Dawn Dreamers were up there and what was going on and all of that sort of stuff. But really, it doesn't help anybody if you just randomly go up there and you're running around willy-nilly trying to find stuff and got no place to look. So, look, try to be a bit more serious about this. There was a group that went up there some time ago, led by Esmundus Pike. He was sent to a small village called Forjat on the shores of the Umbrasoft Lake in the shadows of the Soulforge. He was sent there to try and find the Valasu witches, who... There are stories that 3 individuals who could see light and dark and the balance in between. We were hoping that maybe some of them, one of them, all 3 of them, we don't really know how it works, might be able to track down where the Solara is up there. If they can commune or something with the Celestial, if that's what light means in this case, it's as good a clue as any. I mean, the only real challenge is that no one's kind of really heard or seen them in over 100 years. And there is a few rumors that kind of float around that maybe they succumbed to the mage rot. But I mean, all of this trying to find this information out and everything, really, it's a lot of it's just a wild stab in the dark. But it's better than nothing at all. It's probably better than anything you're going to find if you were just rampaging around up there by yourselves. So, look, this is my gift to you in regards to trying to maybe make amends for some of the stuff that's happened. Hopefully this is useful. Hopefully this will help.
Thank you. That's very helpful, Aloysius. And she will look around at the rest of them.
So tense. It does seem obvious, and for this reason, we will not die this day.
Well, look, I greatly appreciate that, Delgrim. I mean, I'm going to die one day, but I was certainly hoping today wasn't going to be that day, and I hope that, you can all find something useful out there. I mean, the importance of what we're trying to do cannot be understated. Anyway, that's literally all I was here to do. We've got business down south to attend to, so I don't really know when I'll see any of you all again, but I hope you safe travels. Don't die. Look, apart from all of the fact that some of you absolutely hate my guts, I think we'd probably have some fun if we actually got a chance to just hang out, Anyway,
when do you leave?
When do I leave? Oh, I mean, we'll be leaving probably as soon as I get back to the rest of the group.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of delayed things a little bit by coming here now. Probably should have headed off a couple of days ago, but, things and stuff.
Mum, didn't you say you wanted to head south? There are worse travelling companions. Not by much, but...
She looks at you and goes, but didn't you say something about, terrorism and them doing, terrible things, and now you're suggesting I travel with them?
Very much exaggerated. Definitely depends on how you look at things. But things happened, and they happened for a reason. And I trust Aloysius, and my best friend's with Aloysius. And she's lovely.
Well, at least you wouldn't be on your own, Mum, is all I'm getting at. And I feel like he feels like he owes us.
I mean, it's not a feeling like I owe you. I do owe you. Let's be fair about this. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, shall we say.
And anything were to happen to you, he'd know we'd hunt him down and skin him alive.
And that's just it. I wouldn't expect anything else. I sometimes feel like Delgrim would do that just for a few chuckles anyway. Isn't that right, Delgrim?
Yes, that is exactly right.
Hey, look. But, look, this lovely woman here, I can see the family resemblance. More than welcome to come traveling with the Delirium. We will do everything we can to make sure that she travels safely. And look, she couldn't be in better hands, Tiernan.
And I'm just going to whisper over to Mum. And he can get out of tight situations very easily. So if you are leading breadcrumbs and happen to implicate him in the process, 2 birds, 1 stone. I whispered that into her ear.
Yep. All right. Well, like I said, I wasn't a bit of a hurry, but now, look, so it was, it was Kian, I believe the name was I heard before. Look, if you, I don't know, we'll come and collect you in about an hour's time. And she's just like, I'm sure that makes sense, I suppose.
Bit sudden, but at least you're getting as far away from Wyldeport as physically possible, and as quickly.
And she nods. This is true, and look, it's a place to start. Aloysius goes, right. Okay, Excellent. Well, look, meals to pack, carts to load, clues to find, I don't know, all those sorts of things. I'm going to go and get organized. We'll see you in about an hour. Stay safe. And he jumps up off the bed, gives you a little wave, and essentially prances on out. So, with that, is there anything anyone wants to do before you guys go and board your ship and head down, I should say, head down to the docks before that?
Probably the only thing, unless we covered it earlier in like a very narrative light skip over, was Delgrim again thanking Callista and asking if there was any reparation or marker that needs to be
No, there was
accounted
nothing
for.
of that nature. Nothing of that. She was more than happy to help in this situation, be involved in the process. So no, it was all good.
All right.
So
Grumpfel would have thanked her for that and left with a promise to keep her where possible up to date with what's happening with him and with the book.
cool, awesome.
About the only thing Tiernan would be wanting is, or wanting to do, is get as much information of the collectors from his mother as physically possible, and make her promise she makes a communications device.
Yep.
As soon as she's able to, and to hone in on the ring.
I will send you details in relation to the collectors.
Yep.
So, as we're getting close to the end of the session, about an hour later, Aloysius arrives to collect your mother, Tiernan. She seems a lot more kind of together and everything now that she's sort of had some time to sort of,
Get bearings.
had a night and all that sort of stuff. And she just takes you by the shoulders before she leaves. And she's, now, just remember what we talked about.
Okay.
Stay safe. Trust your friends here. Be careful.
And call your daughter. She misses her mum.
I'll find some way to message her. I'll figure something out. Here's hoping, though, she's not like her older brother and just decides to jump off the city and go gallivanting across the countryside.
No, I'm quite certain she'd probably take out half the people on the way down.
Probably. She gives you a kiss on the forehead. Stay safe, Tiernan. I'll be in communication as soon as possible. And please remember, analyze the situation. Collect data. Use some common sense.
I will try, but I don't always have the time.
Don't try. You need to just do it. Pause. Take a moment.
You stay safe and don't trust Aloysius.
I'm sure it will be fine. I can look after myself.
I'm just waiting for Aloysius to give Tiernan the same wink he gave us when he detonated the fireball and disappeared.
With
Give
that,
the GM ideas.
with that, she gives you all a wave. Goes over to where Aloysius is. Aloysius also gives you all a little wave. Little wink.
This is Aloysius.
Yeah. And the two of them head off. The rest of you collect up your gear and head down to the docks, to where you have been told is the berth of the Oaken Home, Gilly's ship. And you can see it there. It's very distinctive. It is unusual, is probably being slightly polite. As you look at it, it is quite gaudily painted. And the center mast actually appears to be a tree. A tall, fairly thin tree. you can see a smallish crew of interesting individuals going about their tasks of getting ready. And Gilly sees you and pops on down, holds out her hand and goes, "All right, we're going to set sail. If I could have my moon now, please. The ship is all ready to go. The gangplank is there. You're all welcome to roll on up, and we'll sail off for adventure wherever your heart desires." It's almost talking like a pirate. Har! But maybe we are pirates.
Where are we going, actually?
Well, I mean, that's up to you. But look, let's just get on the way. But first, deal is deal. The moon, if you wouldn't mind.
Assuming Miera still has it, Delgrim will kind of look over to Miera and just kind of give a subtle nod.
Wait. Is there wine?
There's wine.
Is there a cheese board?
There's ale. There's brandy. There's cheese. There's dried meats. There's dried fruits. There's a barrel with stuff that I don't actually know what it is, but I'm sure it's edible, and it'll be fun to find out what's going on. And look, there's a few other little secret things that I might have hidden in my own personal quarters that I'm willing to share with people.
B looks at Vera and goes, "This is acceptable."
What's with the cheese board?
Miera will hand the moon over to Gilly in that case.
Oh, she takes it and she goes, "Can't fucking believe that you actually did this. This is quite extraordinary. All right, anyway," and she sticks it in her pocket. "Everybody aboard, and we'll get on our way." And she stands to the side and sort of, actually, she just runs up the gangplank, starts barking orders to people.
Guess we better get on board.
Yeah, did Delgrim head straight up onto the ship?
I wonder if I get seasick.
Too late now to ask.
Yo ho, let's go. I'm getting on board.
So everyone's on board?
Yeah.
Miera will hesitate. And she'll kind of look at everyone and we went through a lot of stuff, and I've been trying to convince myself that staying with you all was the best decision. But some of the stuff that Delgrim said, and I guess the way that sometimes when things happen that I don't understand happen, you kind of look at me like I'm dangerous, and maybe that's true. Maybe you should be afraid of me. I'm afraid of me, but I'm also afraid of the risks that you'll take because of me. And she'll look around at everyone and go, "I don't think I can come with you. And it's not because I don't like you or I don't want to hang around with you, but I think that seeing as how you're heading to the Empire, where people like me with magic are hunted, one mistake and it could get us all killed, and I can't do that to you. I can't do that if you can't fully trust me, and I can't fully trust myself. So I'm not going to come, but I hope that you do find what you're looking for, and that the road has been a lot kinder to you than it has been so far. And I will treasure the time that we've had together, even if it's ending a little bit sooner than I'd hoped. But I'm sure that we'll see each other again. And with that, she will trace a sigil in the air and there's a ripple of light and sound, and looks like the fabric of the world is just kind of folding in on each other, and this dimension door will just blossom at the bottom of the ramp up to the boat. And
Before you step through, Tiernan's going to run down the gangplank.
before he can even get to the bottom, she's going to step backwards and say, "Don't follow me. This door's not for you." And with that, the door will close, and Miera will just be gone.
So Tiernan, you get like halfway down the gangplank, and she's vanished.
And Delgrim would have been right behind.
Hmm.
And that is where we are going to end for tonight.
God damn it, Cass.
Oh,
What fucking damn it, Cass? You're getting me in the feels a little bit there. Jesus fucking Christ.
hell.
I'm literally shaking.
Well, that was a fun session. How are you feeling?
How can we top that for being upbeat?
Wow. Well, boy howdy. That was a session and a half.
Didn't even get to say curse your inevitable betrayal.
Joke's on Miera. I'm also arcane. We get nothing anyway.
Oh, shit.
Well, isn't Tiernan as well
No.
No.
a little arcane? No,
That's just my objects.
So, hey, favorite parts.
Hey.
None of it.
Oh, can I go first?
Sure.
I've never killed a PC before.
I've never been killed. I've never been dead.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yeah, that was fun.
noobs, the lot of you.
I just a shout out to there was a lot on that session. Shout out to everybody for your investment, for some fucking amazing RP from everybody. Yeah, holy fucking shitballs, man. That's
I did enjoy the process of dying. I thought that was real fun. I also, in terms of favorite moments, all of the really nice things that everyone had to say about Delgrim. You literally used the power of friendship to bring him back, and Cass, has made me cry twice this session, because that was the first one. It was real cute, real sad.
Made myself cry.
Just an observation, because we get to see Saz, our producer. Saz, I think you've leaked a few times this session as well.
She cried as well.
Yeah. Oh god, Jesus.
With that, my favorite moment was Mira's cast of suggestion. That was really
No, it was the lead up to it. The question she asked of the queen.
Yeah, but it was also just having the balls to do it, because that could have gone real bad.
Easily.
Yeah,
Well, she had permission.
Yeah, it was great. It was a fucking power move.
Great. Enjoyed that.
I had so many good favorite moments, but I think my favorite moment was seeing Grumpfel pop off as a cleric and bring his friends in and actually pull off some shit, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. Loved it. And I'm so relieved that Delgrim's not dead, though he was determined to be. And it'll be interesting to see what those black holes.
If you're so relieved, why have you abandoned us then?
Wow. Wow. Fucking wow.
That's
making more poor decisions.
You can't leave me with these heathens.
That's more shade than what Delgrim's hat provides.
Oh. All right. What about others?
Oh, I have to admit I'm going to say the suggestion that Miera cast as well, but for a different reason. I had a plan. You just screwed it up.
What was the
It worked.
plan?
Oh, but it was perfect. It was perfect.
It was a really fucking cool move.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
My plan was terrible because people could have died. So
Yeah. Look, if there was any violence involved, it would 100%.
It wasn't a violence. It was more of a
Threat of violence.
Playing on fears and an unresolvable situation unless we happen to have a master shardsmith, which Tiernan is not.
He's got a thermonuclear device.
He was going to do worse than that. He was going to name drop several times.
Don't you know who I am?
Brilliant.
Bring out that old chestnut.
Holy shit.
The mirror gone.
I don't like it. I don't think about it.
Have we
I
missed
didn't
any?
even get to say thank you.
Hey, look.
She knows.
Have we missed anybody?
Heath?
I don't think so. Oh, my brain has turned to mush. Hey, look, thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. It has been a truly huge session. If you want to see what's going to happen next, tune in the fortnight when it's a party on the boat and also a party on the boat.
Which I'm not rowing.
Yeah, which you're not rowing.
Finally.
Or pulling.
Yeah, I think that's it. Do we have a raid target? I haven't been paying attention to the track.
We're going to raid kilobits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
So the energy just goes.
Listen,
Yeah, I'm flustered.
I'm
That's the
still
last.
reeling about Miera's fucking exit. Like, it's like
I
properly
saved
reeling.
everyone. Now mic drop. I'm leaving the building.
All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed
Truly.
this session. We will return in a fortnight to see what happens. But until then, stay safe. Don't stick your finger in any electrical sockets. And remember, socks are for feet, not for hands.
And Delgrims are a 10.